Bermuda Half Marathon Derby, sponsored by Argus, with tribute to Mike Sharp for his contributions to sport in Bermuda. It's been 2 years since the Half Marathon Derby has started in the West End. Thousands will lace up for the challenging 13.1-mile course. Some will be running to win, while some will be running for a special cause. And for others, making it to the finish line will be a test of their will and determination. Bermuda Half Marathon Derby, giving you a reason to run.
Day, and it's the Half Marathon Derby. And my guest today, to my right, Mr. Butchie Burchell.
Good morning.
I was going to say Butchell.
Butchell, yeah. We mixed it up, didn't we?
Just mixing it up. And of course, we cannot forget the 9-time Derby winner, Mr. Kevin Smith.
Good morning, team. Good morning, Bermuda.
All right, so guys, we got over close to 1,000 runners today.
Wow.
And it's a little overcast early this morning. Sun's coming out right now. So we're going to talk to the professional about this. What do you look for at the start of a race like today?
Well, once we get up, we assess our environment, within ourselves. We go outside, we look skyward to see what the wind's doing, see what the clouds are doing, to see if it's raining, the obvious, and then you expect that hopefully the humidity is down. The humidity is down, it's a good sign.
Okay. So you like it hot, you like it cool? What is your...
Yeah, but personally, I like it hot. Bring it on, for those that want to win, let's give as much obstacles as possible.
All right. And also joining us all the way from London, we have Mr. Larry Dunlop. And he'll be giving us his commentary and his experience as well. Morning, Larry. How are you doing?
Good morning to you, gentlemen. Just a slight correction, Mr. Magic. I'm actually in Manchester, but London is here also in the UK. So I'm here from Manchester. Yes. Again, morning to our race fans. Happy holiday to each and every one of you, your families. This is an historic day, Bermuda, May 24th. It's on the calendar. It's a big event. And as all runners know, it's the Olympics of Bermuda's running season on the calendar. If you win May 24th, you're remembered by everybody throughout the whole year. Kevin being a 9-time victor, I'm sure those after he won, he had more accolades for those. His compliments probably continued right for another 364 days until the next race. So if you're a runner, even a participant, it's a day like no other. Just running, training, committing, making the journey, and finishing all the people that you can inspire along the journey. You have a lot of people that compliment you on the way, but you also have some naysayers. And when you're running, sometimes you want to say to them, you should be out here, you're running, but you don't want to use your energy for that. However, that's just a little small part. Nonetheless, good morning to everyone there. Coming out of the pandemic, it's been tough. 2020 was canceled. Of course, it was run last year. The numbers were not what they are this year. As you'd mentioned, close to 1,000 competitors, 59 4-person teams, Magic, and my estimation was over 20 2-person teams. So some people running the 6 miles, 6.5 miles, and the others doing roughly 3 miles, 3-point-something miles as the team. So again, I'm excited. You're excited. It's a day like no other. Good morning again to Bermuda.
Yeah, because you yourself, you ran the marathon about 80 times. Any top 20 finishes?
I like 80. If I am 80, do I look 80? I don't think so. Hopefully not. But a little over 20 times. I do have some race experience, with it. Obviously not even once. However, participation, it is a tough course. And like Kevin said, he knows that the heat, humidity makes it even more tougher if the humidity is higher and the temperature is higher, But all in all, hey, we just wish all the competitors the best. We hope they've done their training, their due diligence, training, run according to their training. That's the key. Run according to your training. Don't try to do what you have not been doing in practice, or you may fall short of completing the journey.
All right. Thank you for that bit of advice there. So, Butchie, we're talking about coming out of Somerset this time. You know, we switch up every year. We go to St. George's. Now we're coming out of Somerset.
Yeah.
On that journey, where would you say would be the most difficult sort of part of the trip?
Well, I'm going to be perfectly honest. The farthest I ran on the 24th of May was from my house on Horseshoe Road down to Camp Gate, and sometimes had to run to try to catch Kevin as he's coming across. But in my coverage of the race, I think some of the most difficult points are the hills. I've heard runners in the past say that the Inverroy Hill, because it had so many gradual rises. Everybody talks about Burnt House Hill. And speaking to a past champion, who we'll talk to later, we have some vignettes on. He said that Burnt House Hill was pretty easy for him because by the time he got there, he was in his race.
That's true.
He's
That's
in his
true.
stand and he's ready to go. I think a lot of people say that Scour Hill is difficult as well, especially if you're trying to keep up with Kevin one of these races. You know, Kevin would have been at Scour Hill when the average person was still at Somerset Cricket Club. You know. So, yeah, there are some areas of the race that are difficult. I think Waterlot Hill is a bit of a hill as well. So it's usually the hills that the runners say that has been their problem. I spoke with Debbie Butterfield in the lead up to this, and she said the most difficult part of the race is training up to the 24th. You got all your miles in, you got all your training in, and the weather is nice. But she said the most difficult part is when she wakes up and it's humid.
All right. Be remiss if I should say this is being brought to us by Argus, who is sponsoring the Derby, and we'll be going to them shortly for a brief promo on what's going on here. So we'll be going to Argus. Are we ready for that now?
The Argus Group is absolutely thrilled to be the lead sponsor of the Bermuda Day Half Marathon Derby for the 4th year running. We're excited to participate in this important Bermuda event that brings our whole community together. We're fully committed to the success of the half-day marathon, and the Argus team has enjoyed working with the Derby Committee to help evolve this enduring tradition. I hope the new digital online format and live streaming platform will encourage people in Bermuda and Bermudians overseas to tune in and watch the race. This year, Argus partnered with Dave Wolf of Fit for Life to host the Argus Running Club, a 6-week program designed to get runners of all fitness levels across the finish line. The program was challenging and fun. More than 75 people participated, and Dave helped to prepare them for the Derby and relay events, develop their strength and endurance, enhance their running technique, and provided valuable nutrition tips and created this awesome community. I'm in awe of each runner who has committed their time and energy to training and preparing for today's race. The challenge of running a half marathon can be stimulating and exciting. We know you worked hard. Your friends and family will be gathered on the route cheering you on. From the Argus family, we celebrate you and wish good luck. You can do this. And to those watching along the race, along the route, at the finish line, or watching the live stream, your warm wishes and high energy will support and encourage runners as they test their endurance and battle the hills on their way to the finish line. Your encouragement helps the runners and keeps them moving. If you're in the area, we invite you to visit the Argus tent at Barnes Corner. We'll be there with our usual high-energy Argus team spirit with refreshments and giveaways. Stop by. We will look forward to seeing you. Again, good luck to all the runners. We are rooting for you, and a special shout out to the Argus employees who are participating in the race this year. Here is Mandy's story. We're cheering her on as she ramps up for the big day. What's your reason for doing the Derby?
You know what they say about becoming a parent? It's like your heart is walking around outside your chest.
For 15 years, I tried to lose weight on my own to help manage my diabetes. Fitness programs, there's diets you hear about on TV, nothing worked.
I can't think of a time growing up when my mom wasn't there for me. Now we get to be there for her, knowing that she can retire without fear of the future.
Being a great leader means doing what's necessary to take care of your team.
With Argus, I can trust my daughter has the best protection.
Argus connected me to their Thrive Case Management Program for one-on-one coaching and encouragement. It's just what I needed to get my health back on track.
I know my employees and their families' health and finances are being protected. That means I can worry less and focus on running my business more.
Internet connectivity provided by One. The Bermuda Half Marathon Derby is brought to you by the following sponsors.
Would you say to those people running across you to give them encouragement?
Keep running. Don't try to beat everybody else. You run your race.
Run your race. Run your own pace.
Yes, yeah.
I'm got one favor to ask you.
It's a little staticky coming through the headphone.
I need to see your best gumbe skank. Can you do that for me?
Gumbe skank?
Yeah, gumbe dance.
Happy Bermuda Day, man.
The August.
And welcome back. And just like the coverage you're going to get here in the studio with my guests, we have cameras all over the course. So we're going to send it up to the Naval Field and see what's going up there for the people that are gathering for the start of this race. And again, so Larry, can you do the gumbe skank?
I used to actually dance gumbe, so I'm not sure what I'm got left now. But I used to be able to dance. And I was a decent dance. I wasn't the best, but I was decent.
Yeah, I was with Pickles Group.
Yeah, I think, you know what? That's where we probably met, Magic.
That at school. Yeah. Yeah. So again, we've got full coverage all over the area. We're going to give you a area by area, but we're going to a VT right now. So we're going to send it up there.
Good morning, Bermuda. We are here at the Naval Dockyard
with the runners getting ready for this Bermuda Day. And I am here with none other than a Sharp. Tell us your name.
Michael Sharp. Good morning, everybody.
How are you today?
Feeling great. Feeling great. A little bit nervous. This is my first time running, but I'm feeling good. Should be a good finish at the end.
You said this is your first time running. This race is actually dedicated to a relative of yours.
Sure is. So the race is dedicated to my late father, and I'll be running it on his behalf today. I'm just gonna give it my best shot. I used to be on the lead vehicle with him year after year when I was really young, and watch the first place and the lead pack of runners. So today, I'll be in my own little group. I'm running out there with my girlfriend, and should be a really good race. Should be a good time.
Keeping it in your family. You said you've seen the race from the lead truck, and this is your first time running the race. How are you feeling today?
Well, feeling pretty good. Been training on and off since February, so feeling pretty strong. Been putting some workouts in, getting some long runs in. So, it's all about finishing today. Not necessarily looking for the strongest time. Save that for next year maybe, seeing as this is my first one. Got to feel it out. But, yeah, feeling pretty strong, feeling pretty confident. Glad to see everybody out here. As the people are packing in, it looks really great. Hope everybody else feels as confident as I do today and has a great run.
That was my next question. The turnout seems to be back to pre-COVID numbers. It's a great turnout. What do you think? Why do you think the turnout is so great this time?
I think everybody's happy to see the island coming back to life. I mean, over the last couple of months, we've seen the tourism industry really get back popping, and everybody's just happy to be a part of it again. We've been missing out on stuff like this for the last almost 2 or 3 years, so it's really nice to see everybody out participating. I'm sure there's going to be tons of people lined up along the race. I saw lots of people lined up for the parade, so yeah, it should be great.
Okay, well, thank you for having us. Good luck today, and back to you, Magic.
Thank you very much for that, and we'll continue to have coverage for the start of the race up there and also along the race route. So, Kevin, talking about the race route, anytime you ran and the 9 times that you did win, you never saw anybody, of course. So on your personal side of things, how was the run for you? How did you establish yourself going forward to get to the end?
Well, foremost, it's all about preparation. So, there was a lot of psych up. You run through the race in your mind. Obviously, after the first 2 or 3 races, I had a lot to reflect on, So, you get to know who you are. One thing for sure, you must run your own race. Run it according to your strengths. As we know, Darren Butcher talked about it when many times he participated, how he attacked his heels and they really showed his strengths, So, you run your race according to your strengths and don't get psyched out. You got to be confident. Believe it or not, because the first half of the race is where most of the heels are. The adrenaline rush in the beginning has a big impact. You go too fast, that scar will break you down. It's amazing how when you're downside, if you run that too fast, it could break you down. We always talk about the uphill, but we forget how you run down the hill. You run down hills wrong, hit your quads. Burn your muscles out the same way, And then, of course, you got the flats, which if you run too fast, leading up over Somerset Bridge Hill, that's a little kicker. And then there's that crowd that gets you hyped up. You got to look good over White Hill.
Especially if you're from White Hill.
So, you're home. And, from there, it's really being smart. It's a long downhill. When do you surge? When do you back off? So I ran the race according to my strength. My strength was heels. So I would run very consistent, smooth on the flats, and I'll attack the heels.
Okay. All right. So that's from your personal aspect. Can we talk about what the challenges are going to be faced by the average runner that's going to be doing this?
There's a thing called negative split. That means the second half of your race should be faster than the first half. So when you see most people suffering, it's because they reversed it. You go out too fast. And you pay for it in the end. So most international, any race you look at, you would see the last half is always faster.
Okay.
So basically, when they go out there, you got to do certain things called oxygenate your body. Basically what that is, what we refer to as warming up.
You got to cool down, basically, after the fact.
In the beginning, you're warming up.
Yeah.
Let's flood your body with oxygen so that you can do that negative split on the second half.
Okay. All right. So we're going back up to Naval Field right now and see what Michaela's doing and who she's talking with. Michaela?
Here, we've had a hiatus because of COVID.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Why do you run?
Cool.
Simple. So, like, if you want to answer one, she want to answer, whatever. It's easy. Keep it easy. Ready?
I'm here with Stacy and Alex, who are running today out of Somerset. Alex, how do you feel about running today after a hiatus because of COVID?
I mean, I love this event. Bermuda really comes out for it, and she's going to be shining today for sure. I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Is this your first race?
This is my third, but first time out of Somerset, and I'm a St. George's girl, so it should be fun.
Get in there.
So tell me, why do you run?
Well, I mean, this island's pretty small. It makes it nice to explore by foot, and to get out there and free your mind and for your body, and yeah.
Absolutely. So tell us why you run 24th of May.
It's the atmosphere is awesome. It's a good challenge, and I love the atmosphere, and I'm excited that we're out of COVID and we got everybody out now. So,
absolutely. Good luck, guys. Thank you so much.
And thank you, Michaela, for that. And what we're going to do now is talk about this race mile by mile. Larry, coming out of Somerset, we already know what Scour Hill is going to do to people. Beyond that stretch Hogback level, going to that first mile. How's your timing for that?
Participated and completed the course several times. But like Kevin said, the key is to the first mile. That sets up a race. So if you've been training and you've been, let's just say you're training at 7 minute, 30 minute per mile pace in training. During the race, you don't want to run your first mile any faster than 7:30, even 7:40, because like Kevin said, the goal is to try to run a little faster on the second part of the course. The first mile is not that difficult because the adrenaline's flowing, and then Ely's Scour Hill is part of the second mile, and then of course Hogback Level and White Hill is part of the from mile 2 to mile 3. Mile 3 is there just past Port Royal gas station, going through Evans Bay. Mile 5 is near 5-Star Island. So you just have to pace yourself. And of course, at Burnt House Hill, you know exactly whether you've gone out too far or not, because that's right in the middle of the race. The 7-mile mark is just on the opposite side, the downside of Burnt House Hill. So the key is to start within yourself, within what your training regime has been, and try not to deviate. And then hopefully, you can bring it home, because the fans are going to be along the course and they are going to help you tremendously. No doubt. So you have that, you have what as teams would say, home court advantage. Well, when you run May 24th, all the fans lining up, will give you that home court advantage. But the first mile, you cannot go out too fast, or your race, you certainly will not run the race that you would have liked. So,
all right,
that's the advice.
All right,
continue. Yeah.
So when we get onto Harbor Road,
yes,
we're talking about mile 5 to mile 10 that takes you up to Lover's Lane. People don't realize how hilly Harbor Road actually is. So
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. I mean, from mile, let's look at mile 7. It's just on the backside of Burnt House Hill. That's mile 7. Mile 7 to 8, you get on the backside of Belmont there. And mile 9, you have to come over what we call Inverary Hill. And if you have nothing in the tank, you would go from running, say, 7.5 minute mile pace to 9 minute mile pace, because the hill that last hill, well, it's not the last hill, but it will take a lot out of you. And then you're trying to use, have some momentum on the down grade, which is just going past the newsstand, all that sort of downhill. So if you have legs, you can kind of make back up a little bit of time. But if you have nothing in the tank at mile 9, the last 4 miles is a great challenge, because you come into Crow Lane and the crowd is just the support they give you, the enthusiasm shown by them encourage you to kind of almost run outside of yourself. But then when you pass Crow Lane, and then there's that little incline where Johnny Bond's statue is located. Before you get to the gas station, Shell gas station on East Broadway, you're spent once again, because that little area is not as many fans as Crow Lane, or coming up to Front Street closer to the flagpole, where you then get some more energy from the crowds cheering you on. Then you got to face Queen Street Hill. And then you got to face going up to Marketplace, and that's not over. You still got Pat Body Fire Station there, Bermuda Motors.
Yep.
So again, Kevin said it. The first mile is the key to the race. You have to stay within yourself, be disciplined, not get carried away with the adrenaline rush, want to be on the TV screen per se, get your minute of fame, but then your 90 minutes of torture, because now you're under pressure to finish, the race, and so it's nothing like running that race in pain and discomfort,
Larry, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
To Kevin. Where in the race, Kevin, do you go according to the map plan or to how you feel when you change from that negative mile split to, I want to say, positive mile split or improve your mile split? When do you make that decision within yourself?
Well, the first half, you want to be comfortable, taking in mind that if you're running to win, that you have to put enough pressure on your competitors.
Yeah.
So basically, once you hit, for me, from the bottom of Burnto's Hill, that's when the race started.
Okay.
So my fastest mile was actually from mile 7 to 8. So when I hit Inverroy Hill, it was a work.
That was it.
You work that hill, and hopefully, because everybody's got to work that hill. But we had the other side now. Remember what we're running and picking the pace up now. We're ready to go. So you're within yourself. So once we hit Manch Road, it's downhill from there to Crow Lane.
Kevin, I spoke to a couple of runners, right, in the lead up to this, because I've been away so long, I wanted to get some input. The woman with the most wins, Miss Butterfield,
yes.
Butterfield, she told me that you were the prettiest thing to watch. You, Kevin, even look, in PE lessons at Southampton Glebe School,
yes.
when we did cross country, we had to run around the school twice.
I'm sorry, Butchie,
Go up
man.
Georges Bay and come down the tracks, down by Traditions, past the fire station. By the time I finished my second lap, you was already going through the tracks. I was trying to flop you all the time because you just laugh at me and keep running, right?
I was aware of it.
And you look so pretty. How important is your biomechanics and the way you carry your body as you're running?
Well, I didn't realize I had that pretty look so young. But it's quite a because it was quite a humbling thing. Now that I'm kind of reminiscing, and because I work in the public with my company, I see a lot of people, because I'm out. So, but just to hear it coming from so many people, it's really so humbling. Sometimes it gets overwhelming, but it really made me reflect on how my running, a competitor, what I done in Bermuda impacted people, and give such a respect to the fans, to how people really admired and took to all, the beauty of the run.
Yeah.
But form, the ideal form, obviously, is the best way. They use the word called efficiency. Words like gait come in. That means your stride length. You don't want to be reaching too far ahead. That's a key thing you see. So you heard that. That's when your heels are hitting the ground, which in turn leads to braking.
Okay.
So, it really gets tactical, because really you want to have just a slight lean so your feet land underneath you. So you're not on your heels or your toes.
Yeah.
So, but as we were saying, it's a mental game. because our feelings when we're tired tend to work against us.
Yeah, life is about feelings.
You know, and you follow your feelings.
You talked about the gate, right? I want to ask you now, I've got on a pair of Porsche sneakers here, right?
Yes,
I can put them up on the desk, and my mate here's got a nice pair of white ones, and you've got some, cut match sneakers. How important is your footwear for your gait? Because I went to buy some trainers, because I was thinking about, helping fix this,
definitely.
right?
Get ready for
I'm not I'm running the marathon, but how important is their shoes? Because some of them are so expensive, some have so much technical design to them.
Man.
How is that important?
Oh man, but the shoe is going. But at the end of the day, everybody's foot is different. You got flat feet, you got high arch feet, you got long, small toes. The foot is unique. So you may find someone will go into Kmart and get a $20 shoe and work perfect for them.
Right.
But then the other guys, we're gonna look for the weight, the light of the shoe for obvious reason.
Yeah.
Then you're talking about the cushioning. And then you're talking about, you're getting words like called supinating and pronating.
Okay.
That means either land on the outside of your foot or the inside of your foot. So some shoes are built to be more supportive on the inside and vice versa, the outside.
Wow.
Depending on what's one individual's issue. But the last few years, birth foot run is coming back in because that's how we were born.
That's how we started, isn't it?
That's how we started. So there is a school of thought where the shoe becomes a cast, they call it, and it kind of will actually make you become reliant on the shoe, so other parts of your body will actually suffer, negatively. So it gets so tight. Today, shoes actually have to be legalized.
Yeah?
Oh yeah, they are illegal shoes now.
Wow.
Because they have carbon fibers laced them, and the times you see dropping so fast, it's a lot to do with the software you're wearing, like a computer, And the shoes are just they have to go through a ringer now. They have to be qualified.
All right. Great information. Did not know about that.
I'm shoe shopping.
All right. So we're going back up to Naval Field right now to talk to Mike Sharp's son. Oh, it's something that we have recorded. Yes. All right. Well, let's go to that right now, and then we'll be talking to Larry when we come back about his experience and his shoe wear. All right. So let's go to the VT.
Hi, I'm Michael Sharp Jr. This year I'll be running the May 24th race, the Bermuda Derby. It's my first time running it. I thought about running it back around January, February, and I'll be running it in dedication to my father, the late Michael Sharp, great guy. I originally I was thinking about doing the just running as a pretty much like a warm up, like a training. And then as I was thinking about it, I thought, well, it makes sense since I used to literally sit on top of the truck with my dad when we were younger. Those were always great. Like, so for the May 24th race, I'd jump up and I'd be his little number spotter, and I check out the numbers for him with the binoculars and let him know who's up front, who's second, third, fourth. Had a great time doing it. So it really just made sense with his untimely passing that I would bring the Sharp name back around the Derby and participate in it this year. So you may have seen me when I was younger. Most people probably wouldn't know this, but maybe some of the older cats would. They would see me when I was probably 7, 8, 9, maybe even younger than that. But I used to hold the mic up when my dad was doing interviews. So he'd have the camera on his shoulder, and then you would maybe barely even see it in the screen, my little hand holding the microphone. But that was me, always a part of he always had me out to all the events or the football games. And I used to meet a lot of Bermuda's top tier athletes that way. It was awesome. Yeah, I've been told about this voice for at least since I started to develop my deep voice. So I get asked quite often to give them a rendition of it. So sometimes I'll just hit them with the, "Good evening, this is Mike Sharp reporting." I know everybody's running the race for their own special reasons. Of course I am. I just want to make sure that everybody gets to the finish line safely, has a great time, is out there enjoying it, enjoy the people, enjoy the atmosphere. It should be great for all of us. I know I'm going to have a good time running. So I just want everybody to have a really, really beautiful Bermuda day, and I'll see you guys at the finish line.
this year's Half Marathon Derby broadcast really means so much to me because this year's race is dedicated to Mike Sharp. I met Mike in 2008 when my cousin and I started Bermuda Sports Network. Some may know it as BSN. At the time, we had an idea for a sports show, but I needed a sports anchor. So I chased down Mike and asked him to host the show. We called it BSN 120. It was a 2-minute sports wrap-up from the weekend's sporting activities.
Good evening and welcome to BSN 120. This Saturday night sees come.
My relationship with Mike grew over the years. I respected him like a father. We spent a lot of time together. Me as cameraman and Mike as on-camera personality. He was a natural on camera. Mike was a celebrity, no doubt. And some may know at times he could be a diva. But for a non-sportsman like me, he brought credibility to what I was trying to do. I learned so much being in Mike's presence. When you heard 3, 2, 1, look up. Because no matter what Mike was doing at the time, he transformed into his on-camera personality. It was amazing to see. He was one of Bermuda's best. I want to say thank you, Mike, because if it wasn't for you, Channel 82 might not exist. And I might not be sitting here in this producer's chair, producing this year's Half Marathon Derby broadcast. I love you, Mike. Sleep in peace.
And that's BSN 120. Think sports fast.
And we want to take this time to say thank you to Mike Sharp.
Yeah.
We've all had our experiences with him.
Oh, yes.
And Larry, let's talk about yours with you and Mike.
I had the great honor to work with Mike during the May 24th when he had had a short spell working with VSB, and we worked together on one of the May 24ths. And, again, to Mike Sharp's family, his sister Florence that I know, his son I don't know, but Mike Sharp Jr., I want to express my sincere condolences. And Mike was always the consummate professional. I love his voice. I always feel that in most sports, I'm a global sports analyst, let me just say that. And I listen to the voices of a lot of commentators, and Mike has a sports voice, and so does his son. His son, as I heard him talk for the first time, I haven't seen him in a long time. I said, gee, I heard Mike Sharp. So again, for those listening, watching, and related to Mike, my sincere sympathies, condolences, prayers, well wishes to you during this time of loss. But yeah, Mike, a consummate professional, and if I could take anything from Mike, just that, again, a voice means everything, because, when you have a voice and then you have the enthusiasm, because see, sports is an entertaining arena. We are entertainers, and when you can create that sort of anxiety within sporting fans, whatever medium, whatever sport it is, basketball, NFL, golf, tennis, people will never forget you because you helped to make that experience, and so again, Mike, appreciated that time, that I had to work with him. Of course, for myself, this has been volunteer. I'm not been a paid sports, not just been volunteer, but it's a passion of love that I have for sports and running and track and field and many other sports. So again, Mike certainly influenced me just to, maintain that professional level, because we're entertainers, we're sports entertainers. Don't forget that. Well, I don't forget that ever.
Butch?
Yeah, that's spot on. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I'm kind of glad you went to somebody else before me, because when I heard Mike's son, I welted up. Everybody knows I had a career at the Bermuda Broadcasting Company. Although Ciela was my boss and I worked under her as my supervisor, and she molded me, I worked day to day with Mike Sharp. And Mike was absolutely brilliant. He was territorial. When Rick introduced me to the team and I showed up as the new sports guy, Mike made sure I knew my place, because he was so professional, right? He was so kind. He was so pleasant with everybody, and he was funny too. That you didn't get to see Mike off camera. I'm gonna tell you a couple of things, right? I do remember Ciela used to bring her lunch every day. She used to bring a nice lunch. And I think she bought extras just in case, right? And we used to put it downstairs in the fridge. And someone was eating her lunch over and over, and she started to get angry. No, Ciela. So Ciela put some laxative in her lunch.
No way.
And one day, Mike was going to the toilet several times. We figured out.
Oh, Lord.
She told him, stop eating my lunch. So, it was, and it was the banter we had in the newsroom. But Mike took me under his wing, all right? And Mike guided me, and he showed me what I should do and shouldn't do in sports. You know what I mean? Ciela helped me perfect my arts, but Mike, he used to take me to the football matches. He showed me how to shoot the matches. Later on, Ian helped me with it, and then Trevor came on, and Mike taught me how to do an interview with the camera and the mic, you know what I mean? So I was doing both. So quite often, it was me on a Saturday with the van and my camera. Mike was my mate, man. He was such a nice person, man, and he just made everybody feel comfortable, before interviews, and that's what I loved about him. I would really, really am honored for the rest of my life and humbled to have the experience I had with someone called Mike Sharp.
Amen. All right. So we pay tribute to Mike Sharp, and we thank you for everything you've done in the world of sports here in the island of Bermuda. Truly appreciate it. All right. So we're going to, as we see there, Trevor is up there trying to get some shots. So we want to say good morning to Trevor Lindsay. So Kevin, we're talking about these guys, the competitors. Who do you see as being the front runner for this event?
Well, based on Chris Aswani's credentials, what I mean by credentials, we look at the full runner. He runs a sub 4 minute for the mile. He could drop under 15, 14 low, 45K.
Wow.
He could drop a sub 30, 10K.
So he should be at Maximod before they get to Pyramid's funeral.
I would say we'll look at other factors. He's a father of two. He's had his issues with the body, as we all do with athletes, of injuries. So I don't believe he trains as much as he has, because, for other reasons, whatever he has. So depending on where he's at, he has a lot of what we call muscle memory. Plus, he's a smart runner. So I would expect him to be in a position to dictate the race.
Okay, sounds like a fair deal. Larry, your take on this? As we get the cycles,
I second Kevin's prediction. My prediction: he's the defending champion. In fact, he won in. I'm just looking at my notes here. Yeah, he won in last year in a time of 1:10:28. He's set the record for this course. Chris might be slowing a little bit, but not much. So, and I don't see any other runner being able to run 1:10 other than Kevin. But Kevin's now he's a mature runner and not participating at that level. So, Chris is the ultimate favorite. There's Sean Truck that's on the scene. Sean's been nipping away. He's been progressing, and he's been getting better and better. But to make the leap from, say, 1:14, which I think is one of Sean's faster times, 1:14:38, he ran in 2019. Sean didn't run. He ran last year, but he was a little bit slower, 1:17. It takes a little bit more. Not everyone improves that great over the course of a year. Not that it's impossible. So again, Sean Trott will certainly be in the top. Might predict the top 3. This young gentleman, Semi DeGraff, is now on the scene and has been progressing steadily. Semi's run a couple of 1:16s, but 1:16 and 1:10 is two different times. That's 6 minutes slower than Chris. That's roughly 30 seconds slower per mile pace, over 13 miles. However, again, top 3. Lamont, we was hoping for him to be at the line. He came second to Chris last year in 1:13, although Lamont's winning time, best time is like 1:11, but Lamont's not here today. So again, Chris all the way. I don't see it any different unless there's some surprises or Chris pulls up with an injury during the race. And then of course you have on the ladies' side, because we must also talk about the ladies. SCS Wanek is going for a 7th title, so that's going to be a very interesting race. I think Rosanna Hoy, who beat her the last time they both were at the line, is absent. So Ashley is the pre-race favorite on the ladies' side, and then there's Gail Lindsay, who Butch mentioned. We mentioned won this recent series. She should be in the top 2 or 3.
Okay, thank you for that, Larry. So as we see on the screen right now, we're getting ready for the start of the cycle race, the Packwood Memorial Race. They'll be heading down, and this is a great start to the Derby itself. Because people get to see these bikes. They're fast. They're in town within a half hour, 45 minutes, zooming by, getting down to Bernard's Park. Actually, I think the finish line is on Cedar Avenue.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is.
On Cedar Avenue?
Yes.
All right. So, Kevin, you're not running no more. You ever thought about getting on the bike and riding now?
I picked it up a bit, racing a bit last year, feeling it out. There's a lot of factors involved. Pretty competitive.
Okay.
Pretty competitive. There's no up-bits in Kevin.
No up-bit?
All enough.
All enough. I'm going to leave that one alone. They tell me I'm pretty excessive.
When we were talking earlier about favorites and whatnot, I had a message coming out. Sometimes we may have a dark horse who's the Kenyan boy, Dennis Mbelezi, who just won the Toronto Marathon.
Yes.
I'm not sure if he's at the lineup, but it'd be good to see him run with the expected top 3.
Yeah, that should be very interesting. He's also ran in the Boston Marathon as well. He did well, and I think he came second in that one. But when you hear the word Kenyan,
he didn't come second in Boston.
He didn't come back. Okay,
most definitely not. Well, I did a little research on him to see what he done in that victory early in the month. So he did a 1:29:58. So I broke it down a bit. So half an hour and a half is an hour 15.
Okay.
So it doesn't necessarily mean he can run much faster than that for a half. Now, take into account he's been in Canada. Yeah. And if he comes down to Bermuda, it's got to deal with all these factors we talked about earlier with the humidity. So I think he would be, because you figure if it's running 1:15, we're looking at a 5:45 pace. So if he is here, he's going to be working somewhere around that factor. So if the pace gets up around Crystal 5:30, 1:12.
Okay. All right. So here we have a great aerial shot of the start of the bike race. And as you see, they're starting just outside of Naval Field. And again, it's a great start to the race. And good shot.
That's the first time out we've had drones.
That's right. It is. You can see Larry's loving it.
I am loving it. I am loving it to the max.
Brilliant, man. We're turning it up here.
Oh, no question. This reminds me of the Tour de France. Currently, the Giro Italia races on, and you have nothing but drone footage for those kinds of races. So here we are, Channel 82, TNN, they've certainly taken this coverage to the next level.
Yeah.
Just before the cycle race starts, we mentioned about the Kenyan named Dennis. It's Mbelenzi.
Mbelenzi, yes.
Yeah, Mbelenzi. He participated when he resided in Bermuda in 2019, and in that race he placed 7th in a time of 1:21. As Kevin alluded, he recently ran a marathon of 2:29. You cut that in half, you're thinking about 1:15. Again, I thought about him like Kevin did, and I figured, he should place. He was 7th in 2019, so he's familiar, and he lived on the island for a while. So, and he's probably maybe in a better shape than 2019. So maybe 1:15, 1:14. That will put him, in my opinion, definitely probably in the top 4. So without knowing any more about him other than seeing his times on paper, the top 5 finish, I would say, because he is familiar with the course. He lived here and he ran here. But 1:15 and 1:10 or 1:09 are 2 different times.
Larry and Kevin, what does it do to the elite runners or the favorites when someone shows up who's just won the Toronto Marathon? You said a lot earlier about the mental part. Does that play on the runners?
Well, as you see, my conversation means you got to do research.
Yeah.
If he shows up and you didn't know anything about him, then you don't know.
Yeah.
But if you know something about him, and it's really fast, then it's one position. That's what it is. Because at the end of the day, if, like I mentioned, if he wants to run 1:15, if the race is one and run 1:15, that's like a 5:45 pace.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, a 5:30 pace will put you around 1:12.
Yeah.
So you're talking about 15 seconds difference. Makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't worry too much about him just coming from Canada.
At this point, you're done your training, the miles in your feet, you're ready to go, forget what's happening. I used to always say when I play cricket and football, if I'm not ready now when I cross the line, I'll never be ready.
I tell you what, Butch, one year I came 2nd in the international marathon.
Wow. And
I never passed nobody.
Wow.
All the international runners, because they had humidity.
Yeah.
They were dropping.
Yeah.
People were, you're in 4th, Kevin. And they passed nobody. But then they started seeing guys inside the rib because of that humidity.
That's an interesting part of the course there, isn't Kevin?
Especially for the bikes. You guys got to understand, the only reason I'm not in this bike race is because of Le Mans sitting where I'm sitting. Otherwise, I would have been in this bike race.
It's Le Mans fault.
Everybody asked me, I said, look, you'll see why I'm not out there. So, Le Mans must be really special.
Oh, wow. If it's got you not riding today, yes, he is.
It was a difference between being part of my first race for May 24th or being part of this first production.
Yeah.
Well, we're glad that you're here for this production because you bring the knowledge that is necessary for those that don't really. You got to remember, most people are sitting out there, they're waiting to see somebody they know running course.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Whether it be a family member or a friend.
Exactly.
So this is what we know.
And we are so happy that we are able to bring this to people who are unable to get out to see the race.
Yes.
To those who are aged or sick and shut in. And we just want to wish them a very happy Bermuda Day celebration. We are so happy and we are proud to be able to bring this to you with the different shots, the different footage, the expertise. And we hope that you are enjoying yourself.
And also, not just for those that are at home, but those that actually on the course.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. You got Wi-Fi out there. You know what I'm saying? You go to channel82.bm.
That's right.
Or TNN.
You don't need Wi-Fi data.
That's got it. Yeah, you got to have the data. He knows about data. Trust me. This man knows about data. So we're good on that. So we're looking to start the cycle race in just a couple of seconds. Yes, Larry.
I didn't want to preempt the start of the cycle race. But I just wanted to mention that we look at the prior winners, particularly last year was Chris Eswanick, the male champion. On the female side, it was Rosanna Hoy. The race, as we know, was COVID canceled 2020. Lamont Marshall won it in 2019, and Rosanna Hoy also won on the female side in 2019. Lamont won it in 2018 likewise, and Nikki Butterfield on the female side. So there's a lot of names that should also be recognized, during this day as past champions, etc. So, we'll obviously make sure that they get the notoriety, because to win it once is an astonishment in itself. To win it twice, you get noticed even more. But to win it 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9 times, like the Kevin Smith that's with us today, is just absolutely, extraordinary, to say the least. So again, Kevin, I continue to give you praise, and I say this publicly, that if it was my decision to set up a May 24th Hall of Fame, you would be my first inductee. Let it be no mistake about it. Back to you, Magic.
Most definitely.
Most definitely. I vote for Kevin and Debbie Butterfield. Got them both in. Maybe we can start it.
Yeah, they can have.
And don't forget Sandra
Mute. We have to
recognize Sandra Mute
champions as well.
Absolutely.
The cyclists is off. Have a look out for them. They'll come past you faster than Lewis Hamilton.
They've been knocking up some speeds coming out of there. 40 miles per hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, last Saturday coming out of Somerset, you guys clipped up a couple of 42s, 43s.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty fast.
Now, with the cycle race, do they have the elites going out first, and it looks like juniors in the back there?
Yeah.
Well, as you saw, the first group was just everybody. Because they're numbers, you don't want to break up too much in the time restrictions we have. So they let all the runners go out, whatever categories within there, the women.
Yeah.
And then as you see the junior riders, which...
This is always important, having a junior program in anything we do.
Definitely.
That brings longevity to anything. That's the school teaching me.
Most of the top riders are juniors. Take note.
Yeah. And Wesley, in terms of time,
today you're going to see is Cameron. He's 16.
Oh, okay.
Also take notes, gents. When the juniors are up, there's these senior riders. There's a restriction on the gearing.
Oh, it is?
As a junior rider, you have to have junior gearing.
Oh.
So when you see a junior up there, it's phenomenal. Because the gear ratio you have for the harder pushes, they don't have.
Oh, okay. So, is that because they have different sprocket size?
Sprocket, they have this, they don't allow them because the factors of developing, spinning, and the stress on the legs. So as a junior, you're restricted.
Okay.
So when you see these juniors up there, it's amazing. I mean, these guys are spinning.
Okay.
I mean,
that's good.
Senior runners are spinning up on maybe 80 to 100.
Yeah.
They got to spin between 100 and 140.
Wow.
Okay.
Just to try to stay in there. So, my hat's off right now. I want to see what happens to my Cameron.
He doesn't just have running
Kevin, I tell you, he doesn't do bits.
I see this.
Kevin's a scientist.
That's tactical analysis.
I don't know if you can afford
That's definitely tactical analysis.
And the juniors are off. Good luck, lads. And lessons.
Yeah, I didn't even know that. Back to in terms of the finishing times, Wesley, one thing, the clock doesn't lie. And I think, if my memory serves me correct, the winning time in the cycling races usually, I want to say 26, 27 minutes. So they get to town
look
in
at
a
that.
hurry. I think
Absolutely
the distance,
phenomenal footage there.
It is astonishing. This is like
ever.
the New York Marathon, the Boston Marathon type coverage.
New York and Boston, welcome to Bermuda. This is how we do it.
Yeah.
It's about now because running in the back scene, excuse me. Work my way to the front.
Yeah. I always wanted to understand that.
Actually, yeah. Did they ever hold up the start of the race because of where you position?
Yeah.
They say, "Where's Kevin? He's over there by Mr. Chicken. Bring him up here."
No, I never showed up until the last minute.
No?
I would actually run from home, White Hill, jog up, stop, watch the bike race. Yeah, I take my time, get up there, stop a bit, talk to people, speak along the way. Yeah, I've never been a big crowd people. I don't go to a lot of shows. I don't like crowds. So, plus I get in my zone. So,
yeah.
I'll show up either from the front, the last minute, or I'll come just beaving my way through the crowd.
So when you're coming through the crowd, do they open up and make a corridor for you like the ambulance? Everybody pulls over and let Kevin Smith and Debbie Butterfield and Man That Being go
partner
through?
to see, right? I mean, I used it as to just keep relaxed,
Yeah.
Kind of socialize it,
Yeah.
Stay relaxed. So just intermingle with people create conversations, keep my mind off what I want to do. And so when I got to that start line, I didn't want much time standing there,
Yeah. So as we focus on everyone that's running the race to actually run the race. We also have groups that are running, doing the relay part of things as well. Different charities are being part of this. You've got like 5-mile segments and some and whatever.
Yes,
so we want to say to all those folks that are the charities involved and the people who are doing the relays, good luck with all that. But we all know we're focusing on who is actually going to become the champion in the male and female segment of things. So this is great coverage that we got here. So again, to everyone that's tuned in, thank you so much for joining us, and we appreciate you all. And we're going to bring you the best coverage that we can, alongside Mr. Butchow and Mr. Kevin Smith, 9-time champion. Kevin, the first time you ran, and Mike Watson was still part of it. And I believe you raced twice with him.
I don't even know.
See, so far out front. Didn't even know who was running with him.
You know.
Because I recall at least one race where you were both running.
Okay.
You were younger then. And Mike was like getting to the end of his career.
Yes.
You know, he had a great running career. Was he an inspiration for you?
Well, you know, growing up, it was with guys like Mike Watson. It was the late Peter Lever.
Yeah.
Jeff Payne. I mean, Cal Bean was kind of on the way out. So these are the guys I chase. They set the precedents. One day, I'm going to be on front.
There you go.
And we're off.
Doesn't look like a slow start.
Yeah, this is exciting coverage. We have the clock. So we don't have to worry about activating our own stopwatches. We have the clock on screen.
Yeah.
And we see a couple of runners going straight to the front.
Adrenaline? Yeah. Okay.
Couple of runners going straight to the front.
Whole pack.
Yeah. Now, where we have this separation now, we see someone out front. Let's say for the person that's behind this, what is the encouragement to say, like, do I want to, you already said, run your own race. Does the mental part of it come in to say, I got to be up there with that person?
You see how it's like a magnet. You see how when we're looking at everybody, you get drawn with it.
Yeah.
You know, you could have a plan, and you get done going, say, you look at that first mile split, and it's either I'm on time, but most people are like, oh, man. So you'll find at that spot, you find there'll be a huge break in most people's pace. But you get caught up. You know, it just draws you out.
All right, Larry, so with what you're watching right now, what do you see of our front runners?
Yes, well, you see Chris going right to the front. Again, based on Chris's winning time in 2021, which he won in 1:10:28, that average time was 5:23 pace. So Chris knows he's a seasoned runner. He's won it 7 times. Plus, as Kevin alluded to, he has exceptional credentials, running the mile in sub 4 minutes. He just missed qualifying for the U.S. Olympic team back in his heyday at 1,500 meters. He finished 4th and missed being on that team. So Chris came to Bermuda with exceptional credentials. And as a track runner and an exceptionally fast track runner, he knows his training methods. You know, it's just putting the work in, being consistent, being injury-free. Like Kevin said, as you get a little older, plus you have other responsibilities, marriage, kids, the like, can take its toll, can interrupt. But again, Chris is doing what he always does. He probably has his heart monitor on, has got a stopwatch. He knows where the first mile is. As a seasoned runner, he knows in his mind what he needs to be, where he's at. So he'll check his watch at the first mile marker, although there'll be a marshal there to call the timeout. And that is going to set his race up, If you see the second place runner there, I don't know if that's semi-graph. You get a number on who that participant is, just off 5 meters behind Chris. That doesn't look like Sean Trott. But or is that the Kenyan? Is that Dennis? Okay. Again, so this is interesting. Interesting because now Dennis probably saying, you know what, let me test myself. Gentlemen, we know the clock doesn't lie. If Dennis is going to stay with Chris, Dennis is going to do something he probably has not done before, because his times, in my opinion, obviously are not as fast as Chris times. So maybe Dennis will say, you know what, I have nothing to lose. No one's expecting anything from me anyway. Let me test myself. And let's see how long he can actually stay there. Sean Trott and the other runners, they're probably going to run the earned race, which in my opinion is wise. But Chris is doing, and this is coming up near the first mile marker. I think he'd be coming up to the first mile marker, but just before Scour Hill. This is the first mile marker. The clock there, 4 minutes. Yeah, so he's still maybe a couple of hundred meters from mile one. 4 minutes 12 seconds and counting. Magic.
All right. So, Kevin, we know in car racing, bike racing, drafting is important. You know, you keep a car there behind. Is drafting valid in running? Because we're looking at him running behind Chris right now. Does the draft help?
Well, unlike the draft on a car, on a pedal bike, it's more mental. It allows you to relax more, ride off of the pace of the front runner. But what we're looking at right now, see, we talked about a runner racing to his strengths. Chris is predominantly a fast runner. So when we look at that, right now, Chris is running to his strengths. So he knows that him running a very comfortable pace now, as you can see, is not going to impact him like the different runner. So Chris is taking advantage so that he'll be able to get enough gap on the pace that you see, because he's not hurting as much as everybody else.
Yeah.
Because a 5:10 pace for him now to the other runners is a big difference when he picked out the body. So later in the race, Chris will have enough lead so that if he has to come back, he's got that buffer.
So you can actually do that. You can draw yourself back, slow it down, get your rhythm again. And
so you look at Chris now.
Yeah, look at
It's increased his arm movement.
Yes.
Shortened his stride.
Yes.
But it's running well within itself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well within its means. So we're going to see an acceleration when Chris gets to the top of Scour here.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be an acceleration because he has that fast twitch muscle. It's not going to hurt him as much. You see the second runner here, we believe maybe Dennis.
Yeah.
He's falling off the pace.
Now, could this be a strategy on his part to keep him at a certain distance, so he can make a move later on?
I don't know the strength. Okay. Now, for me, if I was here, I would have met with Chris because I got the strength.
Right.
So he's got to remember.
And just to interject, that first mile, I looked at the clock when they went to the first mile. That was 5 minutes. That is well within Chris' range. And he probably, said, if I go out in 5, no faster, I'm good. But the young man behind, he's probably entering new territory. And you see he's now, 15 meters off the pace? And I haven't seen any credentials that show that he has run a 1:10 half marathon. So he is running in unknown territory. Chris is in familiar territory. And now on the off grade, so you see Chris is just opening the arms.
Just going to bring that
looking
up.
At Chris, looking at Chris's upper body, it looks like he's been in the gym because I've seen him up in person and he looks a little bit more muscular. So he's probably been in the gym doing some upper body work. And as a mature runner now, I think he's in the 40 age category. Kevin, you probably can attest to this. Strength training is just as invaluable as you get a little bit older so that you can carry the arms. The arms lift the legs. So if you have good arms and good arm swing, you see Chris very efficient style running. He's not going out his way. So Dennis behind, 15:10 is definitely in a zone where he's probably never been before. So, hey, it's a cat and mouse, but Chris is not going to look back. He may look back after 6 miles to see if his competitor is anywhere in sight. But so far, it's playing to Chris. This is what Chris does. Like Kevin won most of his races from the front, although he did win 1 or 2 from the back. But basically a front runner. Kevin's a front runner. Chris is a front runner. And you say, come and catch me if you can.
All right. So we're looking at this gap that is being created right now. And they both look very comfortable. And what you had told about earlier about what it's like to run uphill and downhill, I noticed that with Chris. He stayed upright on the downhill. Because you would think if you're going downhill, you'll let your body relax a little bit more and let your legs carry you. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Take note right now. You see he's opened up. One thing Chris is doing now, if he went through that first mile in 5 minutes, he's either in really good shape or he's setting himself up for a good buffer.
Yeah.
That when he gets onto Harbor Road, he can back off, recover. The guys will try to catch him, and then he'll just take himself home once he gets into the latter stage of the race, depending on how he feels. So either he's in great shape or he's really setting himself up for a victory. But in any case, if Dennis is chasing, as we see now, chasing him now, and we're hitting the hilly sections that we talked about early, Chris keeps going up. You see him is working. Dennis is chasing. He is very efficient because of his natural gait for his speed work.
And in familiar territory. Let that be clear. This is what training. This is what your training sets you up for. Kevin, you know that. You know what your training is. As we talked a couple of weeks ago, in your training sessions, your mile repeats, your training doesn't start after the 15th of 20 repeats. The first 10, it's easy. Chris, he's a professional-minded runner. Therefore, he knows what he's doing. He's doing nothing out of the ordinary, gentlemen. This is how he came prepared. He came to win. He didn't come second. He came to win. He knows what kind of shape he's in because he has a running log like all the season and the top runners do. They keep a running log. They record after every training session how they felt, the times they ran. The clock doesn't lie. As we talk about the clock, I think we're approaching probably have we gone across the 2 mile marker, but it's certainly somewhere in this vicinity. We may have passed it.
Just went across
okay, that's a Marshall.
Steps back.
Is that? Okay, right. So
just went across it, yeah.
So he ran the second mile, 5:05 pace, the first mile in 5. He is setting himself up. Now, where is Dennis? How far has Dennis dropped off? Because Dennis is running. That's right. Dennis is running a race outside of himself because maybe he said, you know what, let me challenge this runner.
Yeah.
And hopefully, that's not going to affect his performance too negatively.
But as we said, Chris knows from the past that if you expend yourself too much in the beginning, you will pay the piper in the end. And where Chris is now, I mean, if he's hurling 5 minute 5:05 pace, and you already we don't even see the third runner. So
tell me something, Kevin. There's a particular water stop that's been around for like 60, 50 years or something like that?
Yeah, over 50, yeah.
And that's the one up by Jude's Bay, is correct?
Jude's Bay, Edgar Boris and his family. Yeah.
16 years old, he started that.
16 years up there.
Gentlemen, if I can just interject, this here is an important spot. Now, here we're looking at the runners, the back of the pack runners here, those that are just participating in the race, still the drawbridge prior to the 2 mile marker. But this is the spot right here. Now, these runners are not running at 5 minute pace. These are your 7.5 minute mile pace. Yeah. And you can see a lot of names. Kevin, you know a lot of names of these athletes coming along here. Look like Krister Dyer just going through. Okay. My apologies. You was always at the front. So I was commentator, certainly. Now, this is a relay team here. One of the relay teams. You see they're dressed alike. And the team colors, of course, non-relay competitors. But Wesley, like you said, 1,000 competitors, runners. This here is what May 24 is all about. Yeah,
this is Bermuda's culture.
Yeah,
this is Bermuda's culture
right
live.
Yeah, this is it.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of them, I know they're running for personal best.
Yeah,
absolutely. Or just to be a part of the May 24th race.
That's right.
Because
that's right.
Big as I like to coin it, this is Bermuda's Olympic running race event on the year. You could win every other race, and there are so many races on the racing calendar from May 27th right around. But if you win this race, everyone remembers you. The other races would probably remember you.
You know,
you win this race. You win this race. That's right.
And believe it or not, the majority of the public don't really care about the time.
Yeah, they don't even know what the times are in it.
Who won?
Yeah,
no,
that's it. Oh, I've been in those situations where I've been out there on the course, and it's like, oh, Kevin won. Oh, well, race is over. That's it. Who came second? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Who won?
See,
That's what they won.
this is the 900 and something participants right here. These are the people that you see out there evenings, mornings, midday, putting in their bit of training to be ready for this 13.1 mile race. But it's run with hilly, hot, and humid conditions, usually.
So we're looking at the clock coming up on 15 minutes. It'd be interesting to see where Chris is
what's
at.
the number?
Yeah.
Can you see the bib numbers of these athletes?
That looks like that's our first lady. And she's looking really good. Kevin, tell us about how she's looking. Her arms are going, her legs, her stride.
She's just coming over by Spring Benny, my old neighborhood turn in there. Just look at that. Chris.
Can you read the number? Can you read her bit number?
No. Can't get the number.
So I tell you, if it is the first woman, she's looking quite relaxed. Obviously very smart, done her training, realizing that she's just into 2.5 miles.
So you see that right hand? You see that right hand how it's flopped? Is different from the left? Can we read something for that? Or is that like running style?
Well, you talked about the perfect form.
We talked about Kevin.
Yeah, well, I thank you. I humble myself to that. But when you look at it, at the end of the day, you run to who you are.
Right.
You don't want, once you, as she said, when you show up on the day, I was one that was deep. I analyzed my body every step. I look at my scanner. I'll start from the top of my head, go down to my feet, check the shoulders, make sure they're not too high. Make sure my hips are dropping properly. But I'm pretty sure the average runner is not going to do that. But as we know, at the top level, we're the ones. The Lairs are working about the times. The people that really look at the sport will know how fast it was. But the average person out there, they're out having the fun. I think it's awesome to have your May 24th medal hanging on your lintel in your living room.
Participation.
I done it.
Yeah, certainly did. I mean, I've done the course myself, but I did it on a motorized vehicle.
Okay.
About in the 90s, I was a lead bike. Yeah. And
Mike never let me get on the lead vehicle. No.
So do we have a name for
quicker than football?
Lady?
But she looks well right now coming to this area past Port Royal, I believe it is.
Can you determine how many numbers she has on her bib? The number. The numbers.
We're trying.
The amount of numbers on her bib.
Just come across the Osasampton Glebe School here.
Is it 3 numbers or 4? Because if it's 4 numbers, she will be part of a relay team.
Hard to tell from this vantage right now.
Okay. But it's definitely not Ashley S1 Ashley Cooper because I know her running style. It's not Gail Lindsay because I know Gail Lindsay's running style. So I'm just trying to find out who this young lady is.
Well, we can get a number, but from the studio, we can't see the number.
You may see me from time to time. Look down. I'm sending messages out to our team in the field to get us numbers so we'll be able to keep up with that,
Awesome.
Yep. So once again, we want to give thanks. We want to give thanks to Argus for doing this and being part of this year, and Channel 82 and TNN, everyone involved. My 2 co-hosts, thank you guys very much. Larry as well. Our technical crew here, our drone crew, all our camera guys. Our switcher Lamar with his bad ankle, So we're looking at it right now.
I think
so. Her number is 155.
Okay. Oh, and she
611 16
Davina Dickinson. 166.
166.
Oh, this is Izzy Detronoid. She's a college student here participating.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah. I know who our coach is, but I'm not going to say who he is over the ear. Okay. So this is a collegiate athlete and has a lot of potential. You see, she's just going across the 3 mile marker. The clock 18:49. So she's just six minute and 15-second pace thereabouts.
That's good pacing. Just making good time.
And let me say this to you: if she continues to run at 6:15-minute pace for the next 10 miles, she'd probably have a shot at winning this race because Rosanna Hoy's last year's winning time, 1:25, was a 6:31 pace. So she's definitely ahead of the per mile pace of faster than Rosanna's victory of last year. So let's keep that in mind. So she is the leader. She is the leader, gentlemen. As we know, Izzy Detranoid, if I'm pronouncing her name, her French surname correctly.
And now here we see, all the folks that, like I said, all the participants.
Yeah.
You know,
that's right.
Some crazy costumes and,
not so crazy.
Absolutely.
Not so crazy. Yeah.
and
there you go. See, you're speaking to everybody as they go across.
Yeah. Yep.
I just want to take a moment to say hello to all those who are sick and shut in and those who are unable to get to the streets and the roadsides. I want to say hello to Miss Nikki Jones.
172. She's run the race many
Barbara
times.
Clemens.
Oh, yes.
Barbara
Seeing
Clemens.
her out there enough times.
Yep.
Steel train.
Barbara Clemens. 252. Right. Charles Harvey. Runners.
Charles Harvey just went through. Here's a walker coming up.
428.
We've got Junior running
here. It's difficult for me to read these numbers, the numbers and who these participants. But this is the numbers right here. Carl Roberts, former cricketer. Perhaps just wanting to participate. Yeah. Oh, brilliant. 6'10".
That's Keitha Fouquet.
It's just got a lot of water for her. It's just going to be hydrogenated all the way through. That young lady.
Keitha Wallace. In her surname, you see the clock, 20 minutes and 49 seconds and counting. More runners coming now, unofficially. So
doing selfies as he's running. Why not?
This is it, mate.
This is what it's all about. This is what it's all about, gentlemen.
This is it.
Spectators, fans, Bermuda Day. And I looked at the humidity. It's actually at 69%. So these runners are having a treat weather-wise today.
Are they? Yep. A nice easterly breeze as well.
It is. Usually the humidity is all of 80-85%. So it's definitely a lot kinder. This is runner 195.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he looked, 105 or 195. Runner
he's going with the American flag colors.
7. Yeah, 247. Matthew Henson here. 346. Here, Raptoron. 346. None other than Kevin Maloney.
All right, Kevin.
Coming through, got on his U.S. flag colors. This is right at the drawbridge. You see, everyone's taking pictures. A lot of support, fan support. Runner, who is coming here? This is this is a relay runner. 5. Is that 502? Okay, what team is that? I could not. Yeah, I don't have that to say, unfortunately, but she's in the race. She's doing probably her 3 miles stint, and her team member will be waiting for her. And so who we have coming here? This looks like perhaps another, is this a relay competitor?
That was actually Geisha Soltis who just went through.
Okay.
And awesome. I think these are the relay guys here. You see them with the batons? Yeah, with the red number up top. Yeah, here's the relay teams now. Yeah.
Yes.
So that's how we can distinguish the difference. And so if you're watching and you're with us from home, you want to see the teams. They're the ones with the red number, that red highlight on their numbers.
Yep, 595. This is runner Marie Trott doing her thing. 246. 246 is
that Florence?
Stacy Hanaway Johnson. 246. 518. That's Florence Sharp, Mike's sister.
Right there.
Florence.
Oh, yeah, this Florence Sharp right there.
Yeah.
Yes, she got a picture on it. Yeah.
Yeah. And she's always a competitor. She runs annually. So that's good. Great to see her. And her nephew, Mike Sharp Jr.
Estevach.
This is awesome. A beautiful shot here. Beautiful shot.
Lovely.
You can see the breeze. The palm tree is blowing.
Yeah.
This looks like, is this Peggy Cooper? This Peggy Cooper looks like it. 6'8". It looks like just her running form. Let's confirm that. 6'8". Sorry, it's Kim Ming Simons, but she certainly looks. Her running form looks like Peggy Cooper.
Yeah. That's another
this
relay
is what
runner.
It's all about.
That's a money runner there.
All about.
She's running with her mobile phone and her baton.
Hey, she's capturing everything. Maybe
she's just watching our stream.
Junior.
She's doing that, or she wants to have memories, lasting memories. Maybe this could be her first and only time, so she does not want to forget anytime soon. Again, more runners. This is the back of the pack runners, gentlemen. Back of the pack. Okay, relay runners here. Yep,
Lots
got
of
their
relay
batons.
runners,
Making sure they get it to the next, their team member. 315. 315 is Christopher Lemieux. He may be related to Mario Lemieux, the former National Hockey League great player, Mario Lemieux, Hall of Famer. 198.
You mean from the Boston?
Yeah, the Boston Bruins. Yes.
Yeah, Mario Lemieux.
And so that's right. Right. They could be related. Who knows?
Very well. I should know this. That's my team.
Okay, ice hockey fan.
We missed out on the playoffs. Anyway,
that's fine. Yeah. Again, you see the baton, so it's clear. These are teams. Who's this runner? Not one. The yellow shirt coming. 515. I'm trying to find the numbers before they get out of the camera. But I'm too late there. That was Hugh Norbert Seymour. Team
we're going to be
race.
Sorry, Larry. We're going to be switching up to the lead runners in just a second. But we'll still capture these folks coming across Somerset Bridge. And again, Bermuda Day at its best, Butch.
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
This
is
why we love our country.
Yeah. And also, I want to say,
absolutely.
I know we said thank you for Larry being out there, but there are some folks that are overseas in London that are tuned in.
Yeah.
I want to say good morning to my nephew. Yeah. He's tuned in. And there's a few people down in, I want to say, Everton.
Yeah.
That are tuned in as well.
That's a very good football.
Awesome.
That's the other football club.
Yeah.
Trying to catch up with the front vehicle soon.
Yeah.
The front runner.
So we'll be getting up to the front runners in just a second. Again, want to thank our camera guys for what they're doing. Thank our producers as well. This is great.
This is an excellent shot. An excellent shot here. And you can see just the weather. You can see the humidity is not what it normally is. So these runners are having a reprieve today. Much better conditions than usually. Kevin, I'm sure you'd be love to be running in these kind of conditions. I know I would be because I suffered in high humidity year after year. But it's not about me. It's about these runners. And you see they're still making their way to the bridge here. This is runner 669. Is this the barefooted runner that runs every year barefooted?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
And Kevin and I talked about this the other day.
You did. Let's just get her name quick. 669 is
it Deanna?
Yep, Deanna Hill.
Is she gonna have blisters?
Deanna Hill. Yeah.
I don't know.
So that's great stuff. And talking about great stuff, we're on Harbor Road now.
Wow.
Nope.
And we are, and this area looks to be approaching Belmont.
Rise and Sun.
Rise and Sun.
Yeah. So
Rise and Sun,
yeah.
27 minutes. It's not that fast.
Yep. And so once we find out where the leader is at, we can definitely get a time, average mile time. Okay, 5-Star Island. So he's just going across 5 miles, a couple of hundred meters just back down the road. Okay,
there is a gap between him and second place right now, so he is in his stride.
He's running away with this now.
Yeah.
Look
again,
how comfortable he is.
Chris is doing what he has always done, nothing new. And so he's experienced. Similarly, Kevin, you knew how you felt, you knew what you was about, and you always mentioned about the negative split. So it meant you intentionally held back just a little bit the first half of the race. And Chris, once we can see what the next mile, which will be the 6 mile marker, I believe the 6 mile marker is near
just outside of Heron Bay.
Near Heron Bay School, just outside of Heron Bay School, along that area before that last
just going past the Jewish Bay water stop, which is one of the oldest water stops in this event, and he is running away with this. So, does this become a race against itself?
Well, he's still racing.
Yeah,
you still got more than half the race left.
Yeah,
and depending on what it's done, because anything could happen.
Yeah,
So
Anything
that's
could
why I had
happen.
asked you earlier. Are you now thinking of setting a better time than you did previously?
Well, we can't speak to what Chris's goals are, but I know in the past I've caught guys in Bunch House Hill and been way off the pace, out of sight.
Oh yeah.
You know, so depending on, we don't know exactly what Dennis is going on, but
6'3",
5 high, you know,
Yeah.
5:30 pace, you know, still way under. So it would take a
Terry Wine,
catch him at this point.
6'3", gentlemen. Sorry to interject. Terry Wine, 6'3", at the bridge.
So Chris is checking.
Back to
his watch.
Christine.
There must be.
You see that? There's a seasoned runner.
Yeah.
That's a seasoned runner, Butch. Checking
Yeah.
his watch.
Checking
He
his
knows,
watch.
you know.
Where
Yeah.
he is, his splits.
Chris is just at the bottom of Walnut Hill, and it's at 29 minutes. So he's looking at being on 25 minutes.
Wow.
That's a great
Wow.
pace.
So
Yeah.
So it's
and again, let's make sure we get our time at the 6 mile marker. That will really let us know where he's at, and perhaps be able to predict sort of a finishing time, if you will, even though it's prior to halfway. But at 6 miles, we can definitely know where he's at. You see, there's nobody, Dennis or any other runner is nowhere in sight. And so again, it's him against the clock. It's him against the clock. Kevin, you know this well, although perhaps you didn't look behind. You was out front at this point in a lot of races I can remember covering you. And so your focus is on staying within himself, doing nothing crazy. And you know, his form still looks good. You see the arm swing, just lifting the arms so to bring the knees up, you know? And so he's just staying within himself. The conditions probably are helping every runner this year, more so with the slightly lower humidity. But let's keep our eye on the clock and the 6 mile marker, which is coming up ever so soon.
He's running.
Let's see
really well.
if we know that 6 mile marker is somewhere. That's right. Yeah,
Right
I
there.
think as
Right
they
there,
go in the off.
31:16.
31 to 6.
Did you see it? Did we pass it?
That was
passed
about
it.
right there.
And this is, remember, this is unofficial time right now.
Yeah.
But he's looking strong. And one would say he's got the race in hand, but yet.
Right there.
There's the mark.
There we go.
31, 36.
31,
36.
31, 36. So what that averages, gentlemen? A quick calculation.
He's right now at a 6-minute mile.
No.
He's a little faster than that. So
He's way faster
it's
than that.
5. It's 5.
Kevin's got it right
I
here.
want to say 5:15 pace, 5:20 pace.
Yeah,
He won it last year in 5:23 pace.
Yeah.
5:16. So he's
That's what I
slightly
got
ahead of
looked up
last
when I
year's
did it,
pace.
Yeah.
Right, and I'll take your word for it. So he's slightly ahead of his last year's pace of 5:23. Again, if we want to make just a prediction now, a bold prediction, because the humidity is lower, that's going to favor him. I'm going to say he's going to probably run, and I'm going to put it out there, just slightly, maybe a 110, a sub 110, 109, and a high 109. That's my bold prediction at this point.
Yeah, and we have Kevin here with
Kevin's got this
a great lineup of time splits.
Yeah.
So if he stays on pace, we're talking
1:08.
about 36, 87. Yeah, 8 mile to 42. It looks about right. So we will see.
Well-
and he's looking well. And like you said, his arms are growing nicely, bringing his knees up. He's comfortable.
Yeah,
It's not
and
a
he's
walk
looking
away.
at the fans.
Look at the support.
This is the
now.
Yeah, this is
where,
Campio. We see a lot of people
Legend
out.
Ed Sherlock said when he came through Campio, he got such a boost. He
Yes.
said the reception he gets at Campio is enough to take him through to the rest of the
Oh,
race.
yeah, it's like a refuel stop.
Yeah, it's a refill. He said, Kevin said it's a refill.
Yeah.
That's where I come
Yeah.
from.
Our cameraman is right up close, getting some excellent footage and looking at, and you can see, let's just critique Chris. You see his upper body. He's definitely, I would go on a limb and say he's definitely been in the gym, because I'm looking at his upper torso. He's definitely put on a few muscular pounds, which gives him that extra strength. You know, not lifting weights to be a bodybuilder, but lifting weights for the strength. And you look at our cameraman, you see.
Switching to cameras. Travis got a couple cameras going.
Great footage.
Oh, he is. Yeah. Can I ask you a question, Larry and Kevin? In sailing, when they do the transatlantic races, we talk about the rum line, which is the straightest direct or the fastest direct path.
Yes, great
How much
observation.
of that comes into this race? Because if it was me, I'll be running in the shed.
Straightest line is the shortest line.
It's the shortest line. So, what is the shortest line? Is it hugging the left-hand side?
Straightest line is the
Is it
shortest
the middle
line.
road, or is it the middle
You know,
line?
it's like a
or-
race car drive. You're driving the 8-pack to the corner, straightest line.
That's it.
Now, you can
Right.
sacrifice.
Let me say this to you.
If you need the shade.
Just to add to what Kevin said, Butch, the first part of the race, you have to stay to the left. The first couple of miles of the race, you have to stay to the left. But after a certain point, you have the Hull Road. Harbor Road, you have the Hull Road.
Okay.
Yeah. Because the 13.1 mile course is measured accordingly. So you do have to stay on the left up until a certain point. But Harbor Road is anywhere. And of course, as we know, the straight line is the straightest point, of course.
That's how they measure it.
Yeah.
They measure straight lines. So you actually, if you're following the side of the road, you're going to actually run longer.
Right, okay.
So
that's why he's not running over in the shed. Yeah, like I would do. Yeah. That's probably why I ain't got 9
Now, there's also the
championships.
sight game on Harbor Road.
Yes.
Where I would run to the other side of the road, out of sight, out of mind.
Oh.
So the competitor was kind of close.
Yeah.
Like I would get over Burnto's hill and get hard up against the side.
Yeah.
Take a little break, jump right back in it, you know.
Yeah.
So
Whoa.
you can play some games with it.
Yeah.
But obviously, if it's really, really hot, unlike today where it's really good weather, you might want to sometimes use the shade, to get that little shelter. Where you see Chris just coming to the top of Burnto's hill right now.
And the other thing is that, when you are prepared for these kind of conditions and you get a reprieve, Darren, Magic, and Kevin, as you know, I don't have to tell you anything. It doesn't matter where you're running because you're within yourself. In my opinion, today's conditions are perfect for these runners. So that's like air conditioning, a bit of air conditioning, if I could use that. Today's temperature. So you don't need to run and hide in the shade. There's no need to, because humidity being lower gives you that low extra level of oxygen that you can get. If it's a hot day and humid, yes, I would always duck and look for any shade, and so, but again, Chris, you can see his mental fortitude. He's just focused. You see him looking at his watch. He's trying to keep his torso, his running form, efficient, as Kevin mentioned, as we talk about for efficiency. So he's doing nothing out of the ordinary. And talking about out of the ordinary, there's no one in sight. There is no one in sight at this point.
Unordinary. We're talking about, we're at Campio now with our camera people, and we're going to get some shots there as we continue to discuss this. What about hydration along the race? Do you stop and drink, have a talk to the people, or do you just keep running? Are you afraid that somebody may spike one of the cups of water, or exactly what happens?
I tell you what, Butch, you may gain more by stopping and rehydrating properly than to keep running and missing.
Oh, okay.
Bet your boots. But rehydration is key.
Yeah.
All the time. So as much zips as possible on the way. Get a gulp of water as often as possible.
So you just want a mouthful, right? You don't want to stop, have a liter of water.
As often as possible. I generally have people strategically located to pass me my special drink.
That's what we're getting at. What was in that?
Special drink. Believe it or not, I would use back in the day things as simple as Dialite.
Yeah.
But when you have like diarrhea and stuff, it's full of electrolytes, potassium, everything you're sweating out.
Yeah.
It's basically a cheap sports drink.
Yeah, okay.
So I would use
It's
that.
that Southampton water.
Southampton, it's that brackish water. I just want to say hello to, we've had a couple text messages from people in London. Gennaro Tucker's mom is there watching.
Amen, yes,
just a cricket enthusiast. We can say what, but she wants to say hello and happy Bermuda Day to everybody from her and Janika over there in London. Keep texting us, keep sending us stuff. You can find us, and we'll mention and we'll say hello. As man, how Bermudaful is this day? Not a cloud in the sky. If you look in the sky, you will see a couple days ago the sun actually crossed the line, and now we go swimming.
There we go.
Unofficially.
Just do it. And I tell you, talking about swimming.
He's swimming through this race. He can stop and have a swim.
After you finish this race, that'll probably be the first thing on your mind. We're just looking at, as we look at the race, we're just looking to see what mile point. Absolute. Look. You see that up and that up straight, the torso? See the torso? Efficiency. Kevin knows about efficiency because Kevin had probably one of the best running forms I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I love, again, but back to Chris, he's definitely showing in that static shot that you see efficiency.
Yeah.
Efficiency. Yeah.
I just want to take
so let's just see so he's on Harbor Road. He's past the 7-mile marker already because that would have been the backside of Burnt House Hill. So he looks like he's coming to Longford Hill Longford. Actually,
correct.
He's past the 8-mile marker. He's past he hasn't passed the 8. Has he passed the 8? No, he hasn't. Not yet.
It's just leading up into Belmont.
Right. I'm just trying to remember where the mile markers were. So he's definitely coming up to the 8-mile marker along here somewhere because looking at the clock, you said he was at 5:16 pace after 6 miles.
If he maintains this pace right now, we're looking at a 108.49, close to 109 finish.
Which is brilliant.
Yeah.
Which is where he's at
and I say 109 and change. That's my prediction. I say 109 and a bit. Again, that's a prediction.
He's just leading into Longford Hill. At the end of that stretch on the corner, he hit the 8-mile mark. And if we're one time, he get a time check at that point.
That's right. Okay, He hasn't gone up to the 8-mile marker quite yet. I know he's probably about 400 meters away from the 8-mile marker at this point because this is Longford Hill. You see the fans have come out in support as always, as every year. Mega support. Exactly. And so we know as it comes to these corners coming up, and we know the 8-mile marker is definitely within this area, and we look at the clock
momentarily.
Yeah, we look at the clock at 8-mile
Ain't that beautiful?
marker.
Everyone's out there offering water. I thought that was awesome. People bring out from the kitchen oranges,
Yeah, piece of Korean pie.
This
definitely. 8-mile mark there.
They seem to have those the boards that let them know. No, they normally have a little board, fold up board on the road.
Yeah.
So it should be coming up soon. In this vicinity, the 8-mile marker should be approaching it somewhere, if memory serves me correctly, unless has passed it. Okay, so we may have passed it. Okay.
I saw a marker, but it was there. It is.
Okay, here it is. There it is. So
42:23.
42:20. Okay.
So he's just 23 seconds off pace to do the 108. So.
Okay. So 42:22.
109 higher, lower. Will be more.
Yeah.
But as I said earlier, you notice.
Yeah.
He took it out. Now he has his buffer. You see, he's saddled on. He could recover. If it's out to win, he can gather himself.
So it's just him. It's him racing against that speedboat going into Hamilton Harbor.
This is it. I mean, take note. Chris could back off here.
Yeah.
Pick it back up around mile 10.
Yeah. Okay.
And bring the pace back in no time.
Come back. Yeah.
Gather himself, get within himself, drop off the pace bar. 5 seconds around, and pull it back.
Yeah. Like while we went away from you, how far or how close is he to record speed? Coming from
Somerset. He's off of that 10. Remember, the time he ran was 107.36. So that's very ambitious for today. Yeah. However, he's still on 5:16 pace.
Yeah.
And that's after 8 miles. So he's looking good. He's looking good right now. And so I predict a 109. Hey, I could be wrong. He may dip under that 109 barrier, which would again be another impressive time. No, there's no one in his sight, so it's just him against the clock, him against his body, and the fans are then certainly gonna encourage him on. He's still got some work to do because he's got this upgrade. He's also got Inveroy that's coming up soon. And so we'll look at the 9 mile marker just to see what's the split between the 8 and 9 mile marker in terms of, being able to even more accurately predict his finishing time. But definitely he's on schedule to run a lot faster than 110-28 from last year. For sure. So he's probably in maybe a little better shape, but we cannot overestimate the conditions are a lot kinder. I wish I could go back and say, okay, well, what the temperature was and humidity was last year, I just don't know. But 69% for Bermuda on May 24th, I'll take that all day long. I'll take that all day long.
That's a gift.
And I'm sure all runners,
Okay, Larry, just going to interject real quick. We're actually going to go to a VT of a past champion. Did this a couple of days ago. The veteran himself, Mr. Ed Sherlock.
Edmund Sherlock, better known as the Black Stallion. Black Stallion! Black Stallion! Here he comes! I used to box before I took up running,
You was a boxer?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I fought Kevin McCormick.
You did?
Light behavior champ of Bermuda.
Yeah, all right.
It was a draw.
A draw?
Yeah, on Sports Arena. I did skipping, and then go for my run.
Okay.
I used to do speed rack down Long Bay. In Long Bay, the sand is deep, right?
Yes.
Running against the wind.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
But I thought I'd have a heart attack. But after a while, I got used to that.
Yeah.
Go up the hill, lean forward, and rack your arm.
Yeah.
Going down the hill, float.
Yeah.
Float down the hill, man, And
it started.
I just suck raw eggs. Your pen, suck the raw eggs. Get some brown sugar. And starting the sugar gives energy, right? The other guy didn't know about that.
Didn't know that's true.
No one stopped. It was against the rule. Because we were professional. We couldn't pay for running. I won the 6th time by 5 consecutive.
What happened in 56?
56, I came first. Started from Lloyd to end. In those days, right? Then the brothers, Great Lambert, all the old runners were here, and we took off. Then we got down her lane. Boy, good dip, it's running strong. And Max Smith, my coach, came alongside me. He said, hey Doc, how you feel? All right, let's get it on. That's right, good, man. And that was a good feeling, man. And the guy that won that race, this guy gave me 5 pounds. Nah, that 5 pounds, a lot of money those days, And you have a good time.
Yeah.
We stayed there, guys stayed there until 12 o'clock.
Yeah, all night?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Party.
So it was a community thing back then?
Yes. After midnight race, right? I don't like, next day you don't see me, No? I don't like to make, people say, hey, that's your life. I just keep quiet, and it's until things cool on.
Yeah. Thank you so much for taking your time to come and talk to us and help us relive the history. Because so many people don't know the history of this.
Thank you, man.
You're the historian.
Thank you, boys. I'm calling you boys.
Thank you, man. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
They're great.
That was absolutely wonderful to hear from Mr. Ed Sherlock like that.
Yeah, man, brother. He coached me. But he couldn't make a runner out of me. He used to take me down to Dunes, down Horseshoe Bay, and he told me, Butch, you better stick to cricket and football. I mean, when I was a lad, I used to run with Ed Sherlock,
Yeah.
We call him Coach up on Horseshoe Road.
All right. So we actually have Gene Lataka standing by. And we're going to bring her in just a minute. So we want to say thank you to Larry for his input and his commentary and his knowledge on this. And hope that he enjoys the rest of his day. So right now, as you see Chris coming along, looking excellent, looking strong. Kevin, he looks like he did from the beginning, for real.
Well, he's, as you see now, he's starting to use the apex of the rope. But right now, all downhill, to curl in. Once he gets curled in, I would anticipate.
Look at that! What a shower!
He looks like he might make a surge. Yeah. I think he might bring it back down to 108.
All right.
Yeah.
So just waiting for Gina Tucker to lock in with us as we enjoy this footage of Chris coming through Harbor Road, just past Newstead. And, looking good.
Absolutely
Gina.
Brilliant. So we have Gina Tucker joining us from the lead vehicles. We're going to be talking to her in a second. As soon as she... Can
you hear us, Gina?
So we're just waiting for it to sort out the audio. As soon as we get it, look how beautiful that sky is today. That is
just got to tilt your camera on, Gina.
Yeah.
Hello. Welcome. There you go. How you doing, Gina?
Just rocking with our audio. She'll be with us in a minute. Trying to get our audio together as we're watching Chris is running away and looking in fine. Yeah, we can hear you clearly, Gina. Spot on.
So how you doing, Gina? What's it like out there for you? All right, little audio situation going on right there.
Yep, so we're just waiting for Gina.
Yeah, as we see Chris coming along looking strong, got a great stride, got a great gait on him. And based on Larry's prediction, 110 seems to be a better time for him right now, depending on what he does, because he looks like it's just eased up a little bit.
Yeah.
When we talked about that buffer?
Yes, this is it.
Yeah.
Get out there.
So he's built out that buffer. Now he can relax.
He can do what he wants.
Rebuild himself.
Catch yourself.
And take off when he gets the East Broadway.
And like you say, if it's just coming out to me, because he knows what it's done.
Yeah.
He knows his strength. Yes. His run. What is the impact on his body from the pace he took it out? It's not going to be as drastic as the other runs.
Yeah.
So now.
All right, Gina, can you hear us?
I can hear you. I can hear you loud and clear.
All right. So what's it like for you out there today?
Oh, it's so exciting. So exciting. The spectators are out. They're on the water. They're on the sidelines. They're up in their houses. They're cheering us on. They're cheering on Chris. He has left the pack. That's all I can say right now. I don't see anyone else.
So, Gina, who's on that lead vehicle with you or in the vehicle with you?
Yes, we have George, our runner George, who ran 50 times. George, how many times? 45 times. 45 years straight. And we have Ed Sherlock, the great. Ed, wave to the people, Ed. Look right here.
Hello, Coach.
See him right there? Look. Coach? Yeah, you see him? You see him?
He's waving like a celebrity.
He is. No, he's a celebrity today. That was wrong. He's a celebrity. Everyone's a celebrity today. Johnny! Everyone's a celebrity today. The people are just awesome. They're fabulous. Everyone looks good. They're having a great time. And Chris just looks like, it's a breeze. He just looks like it's a breeze. It's unbelievable. Can you see him? Can you see him from me?
Yeah,
from where I am?
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just breezing along, having a good old time, waving to all the boats who are tooting, blowing their horns, and the spectators are just fabulous. That's awesome. It's a really good feeling out there today. Absolutely.
So I know you want to thank all your people for what they've done. So here's your opportunity. Do some name dropping, girl.
Do some name dropping. Well, we have August #1. Well, I always always wondered, should I start with my committee first? I probably should. Committee, thank you, because all of this came together because of the work they've been doing behind the scenes we've been doing for the last 6 months. Of course, August, they couldn't happen without the support. They've been engaged fully. Icelandic water, big love Icelandic water. I see them on the screen there, awesome. They've been keeping us hydrated. And of course, all of our supporting sponsors, I call them, Karen All Care, BDS, Physiotherapy. Look, he's very close. Push up, you guys, push up. I actually saw him very close just now. Try not to get too close to them. And so everyone has really, really been, you see them out, they're in their red shirts, they're handing out the water, they're taking care of everyone. It's big police, thank you to the police. This year, St. John's Ambulance, big up St. John's Ambulance. This race could not happen without the likes of St. John's behind the scenes, making sure everyone.
Oh, that's absolutely.
So many people today. Those are Crimson. Here's a video too. For taking it live.
So do we see you maybe participating in a relay next year?
No, you know what? I'll be reaching a big something soon. And so maybe I'll get ready to do something like that year. That will be in a few years. That will be in a few years. Not next year, but soon.
All right.
Unbelievable drone shot there. Absolutely stunning.
Unbelievable. Stunning. Look at that. Yeah, that is awesome. That is awesome. I'm looking. That's awesome. Unbelievable. We're rolling up on, what's this? The roundabout here where there's about 5,000 people. Looks like 5,000 people.
Yeah, we should see you be coming through shortly because we got a great drone shot of that area.
Absolutely stunning.
Awesome. Absolutely fabulous. Awesome. Here they are. Woo! Go up.
Well, right now, Chris is streaming the crowd. Come to here. Leading the front street.
He's going to pick it up now, isn't he?
If you look at it, it looks like it's scratched the stride.
It looks like, he's going to bring it
in
nice.
Yeah. Look at that. Absolutely brilliant.
I don't believe Chris is going for any particular time, so Chris is going to settle in and enjoy this. Enjoy the crowd, especially coming through Front Street coming up. Take it home.
Hello.
Where's the next runner? He's so far ahead. Hi, Jenna.
Oh, it's crazy. Yes.
He has a massive lead.
I haven't seen the next runner for a lot of miles. A lot of miles since Fort Warrior gas station, I believe.
All right, Gina, thank you very much. I want you to enjoy the rest of the day. And again, a wonderful day for you and August and everyone else. Enjoy the rest of it.
Oh, yes.
And we'll see you later on. Bye. That's Gina Tucker, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. All right, so Chris is on what can be considered the home stretch.
Yeah.
So, Kevin, when you got to this point, you just passed Johnny Barnes statue. You know you got a mile and so much on Front Street. How are you feeling at this point?
Exactly where Chris is, coming along there, just before BUI. It's real quiet. There was one house up top the hill. But this is where I took my time. I recovered. I gathered myself. Because once you start getting down by the docks and the crowd, it was time to push it on.
And you actually put on a show?
Well, I don't know if I was putting on a show as far as utilizing aspects such as looking good.
Looking pretty, as you said.
Because you got to run well.
Yeah.
So you utilize it so you can, keep your pace going. But right here, it's a nice quiet spot, getting ready to go into, Front Street and pick the pace up and just go for it.
Yeah, because between here and Cedar Avenue and actually the finish of the race, bigger crowds, a lot more noise, a lot more enthusiasm, a lot more encouragement.
Sacramento just went through.
There you go. That's
Sacramento
where
just
our
went
second
through Crow Lane, and Chris was just getting ready to lead up to Court Street. So it's really not that far behind.
No. It's a great gap right now, and he's still looking as strong as ever.
Oh, great things.
And so
checking his watch, checking his time.
Watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the 11-mile marker, yes, the 11-mile marker is somewhere within this vicinity.
Yes.
Yeah.
Somewhere, I just cannot remember. But he's looking good. And so we certainly do a little time check at 11 miles.
There it is.
There it is.
11, okay.
47,
58.
46.
Okay, what that works out to be per mile.
Just a minute. What's our
And
split?
he's just made his way past 131 Front Street, coming across Supermart. So this is a great stretch. And like Kevin had said earlier, he's in his stride, he's in his comfort zone. And I think this is where he might just give a little bit more.
I did a calculation.
My calculation has it approximately around 5'3".
Right, which is 5:18 pace,
give or take.
5:18 pace, 5:18 pace. So he's from mile 8 to mile 11 was just a little bit slower than the first 8 miles on average. However, that 5:18 pace, if he finishes, and he should be able to maintain this pace until the finish, at 5:18 pace. So he's looking. Yeah. He's definitely going to threaten that 109 finishing time barrier for sure. Which will be
run for the victory.
Yeah, absolutely. He's under no pressure.
I don't think we can anticipate any pickups or surges. I mean, believe it or not, but the most difficult hill is going up Cross Marketplace.
Well, it's uphill as soon as he turns by Birdcage.
It is a climb.
All uphill from there all the way to you.
It's a climb.
It's a climb.
That is the hardest pace of the race. Church Street.
And talking about, the race, it's, from a fan's perspective, we love when it's 2 or 3 runners coming through Front Street together. Obviously, from a competitor perspective, you don't want anyone near you. And so, Kevin, you've experienced both. When it's a 2-3 man race, at this point, the crowd, just is in a frenzy because there's no way of knowing who may be the victor. But when you're running by yourself, you look behind, there is no one in sight. We don't even know how far the second place runner is behind Chris at this point. And so it's just him
so the second
against the clock.
Crow Lane. And where Chris was just outside Grace Things, so he wasn't that far behind.
Okay, so we do have a set, and do we know who that is?
It looked like the same red, attire, which would have been Dennis, so.
Okay. And if that's the case, then, if that is the case, then Dennis didn't destroy his race trying to keep up with Chris in the early going. Okay. So, beautiful shot. Beautiful drone shot. Awesome.
Yes, we definitely want to give credit and thanks to our drone operators, our camera guys, everybody that's out there on the course, and of course our technical crew here at Channel 82. So now he's up on Church Street.
Yep, right in front of City Hall. The 12-mile marker is just before Bermuda Motors, so he's probably... let's say he's maybe a quarter of a mile from the 12-mile marker, but we will certainly see what his time is between. We knew what his time was at 11 miles, so we had to see just what the time difference between 11 and 12, if he's still at that 5:18 pace or not.
And there's still...
That's another beautiful shot, gentlemen.
Still a gap between first, second, and third and fourth, and
it'd be interesting to find out what's up if
yeah.
So one thing I must say, I mean, this is what it was like when I was running there. So seeing it from this perspective, I could understand many of the comments of the people on the streets.
Yes.
And people would say things like, Kevin, get somebody a break, man.
But no, that's not how it works.
That's not how it works.
Look at the easy ups. I mean, there's shade. Chris could find shade running through the easy ups or this whole straight. There is no gap of easy ups along Church Street. I mean, people are out. They're tired of being, held. I don't want to say hostage with the COVID, but it's not been easy worldwide. It's not been easy. But today, I mean, a show of support beyond belief. We're just passing the what area is this? Is this Church Street? Yeah. HSBC, or where are we at this?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, we are.
Yep. Just coming up towards Bermuda Motors.
Yes. So the 12-mile marker, gentlemen, is not far. He's not far from that. I believe it's close to the corner, the 12-mile marker. And so we shall see. Look at the clock. He was, what was it? 58:48 at 11. It was 58:48 at. Okay.
This is an excellent shot of the finish line.
It is. Yeah. And so I
just made that turn past Bermuda Motors, coming up by the Salvation Army.
Yep. Just making the turn now on Victoria
Street.
Okay, so I'm trying to find the 12-mile marker sign. Looking at the clock, it should be within that. Okay, just not sure where it is. Okay, wasn't sure where the 12-mile marker was, but he should have passed it by now, looking at his average mile splits. So now it's just a matter of
time before he puts.
Yep, he's looking comfortable.
Would this be number 8 for him?
It will be. Once he gets to the finish line, it will be number 8.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah, so he's passed the 12-mile mark. Unfortunately, we couldn't give our viewers the mile split. Yeah. But you see the police making sure no one's on the course that shouldn't be. A few spectators here, but we know as soon as he turns onto Cedar Avenue, we know that's going to be a lot of people in attendance, and so. This is another area where Air Sherlock talked about Campio. This area here is like no other. Yep. Cedar Avenue.
Yeah.
It's nothing like Cedar Avenue.
Yeah. David Butterfield said the same thing.
People have waited.
Yeah.
For everyone to arrive. And it's one thing being at Campio, but they waited the whole morning waiting for the event to take place. So right now, the elation, you're close to the finish line.
Yeah.
You may be hurting, you may be tired. So, but one thing it's around the corner.
Yeah.
You hit their stoplights.
And less than
a
mile.
Crowd. You can actually hear the commentator down at Dotton Avenue. So it just gets exciting, just to take your hat off now and go for it, especially when you're leading a race like this. You can really enjoy the moment. Now, of course, if you're going for a special time, you're still in your zone. So
yeah.
Right. So we're looking at the clock.
He's enjoying it. He's excited.
That's right.
Whatever his goals were, they come to fruition. So, hats off to Chris.
Yeah, he's done a little bit.
He's done what he came to do. He's done what he trained to do. He prepared himself well, and
once he finishes, let me just say that once he finishes, he can certainly celebrate. He's still got just a little bit of work, a couple of 100 meters of work left. 107.47 on the clock. But he looks comfortable. There's no need to speed up. Again, it's coming up to 108. My initial prediction way back at the 3-mile marker was just under 110. So he's definitely he's closing in on that 13-mile marker. Yeah, and so faster than last year. I mean, although last year was out of St. George's.
Set the stoplights.
And in fact, when we talk about records, just as brief correction, Wesley. his record out of St. George's is 107.46. I said 107.36, so correction, 107.46. But
46.
I can say what's his fastest time out of summer, his fastest winning time out of Somerset. Yeah. But this is definitely a great effort. And I think that, to be honest, I think the runners have been treated with favorable conditions overall as far as May 24th Marathon Derby is held, although it being on the 27th this year. But I think, we're going to see if we can get some comments, post-race comments from how the runners felt about the conditions itself. If, it appears from my vantage point, and looking at the barometer, 69% humidity is much more than Larry. Favorable.
Cool, thanks. So Kevin, bring us in from this last segment. Here you are. You're making your way down to Door Dutton Evan. What are you doing at this point?
You're excited. You came. Your job is done. You're going to win it. You kind of, putting yourself together. You come down Dutton Evan looking good. To go to the finish line because you will see Chris doing the next couple of seconds.
Let's look at the clock. 109.45.
10.
Finish line clock.
No.
Looks.
Well, this is unofficial time right now.
The official clock.
But we see up top.
Yeah.
110.
Right on, Magic.
110.
I did say 110.
110, 10, 11, 12.
And congratulations to Chris for winning the Bermuda Day Half Marathon.
Look, he's ready to go again.
No.
Absolutely brilliant job. Congratulations, Chris. You've done absolutely brilliant.
And again, great coverage here from Channel 82, great drone footage, and also for Trevor being on the bike, following all the way down. Thank you, Trevor, and all our camera guys along the route. But we still got more coverage. We still got second place to come across the line.
Fourth place, fifth.
30th. The first woman.
Yeah.
100.
And it's over 900. So
200.
Hopefully 900 runners. Hopefully 900 runners still to come. 900 plus. Let me just say something quickly, gentlemen, as we wait for second place. Chris showing a level of consistency. His winning time last year, 1:10:31. His
Marketplace.
They're still coming through Campion.
Isn't that amazing? Chris just finished.
Yeah.
You got people's you done by water lot, probably farther back than that. Maybe 5-star Island.
Yeah. That's why we have different levels, isn't it?
Oh, different.
Some people enjoy it.
There's one winner.
Yeah.
Everyone's a winner with their own rights.
Most definitely. To complete this race in itself
Big time.
is a great accomplishment for anybody.
That's one thing I advocate to most people that would talk to. No, don't compare yourself to my best.
Yeah. You can.
Your best is the best.
That's it.
That's what counts.
Yeah. Hence why if someone finished in 1 hour and 50 minutes last year, they're trying to get 1 hour 49.
Exactly.
So they're just trying to do that. But as we see the gap right now for second place, I heard we're going to Andrew.
Line up in Norris Park with our winner again, Chris Aswanick, and I just want to do one thing. I'm going to what type of horsepower do you have in your tank? Because you have left the whole field behind you. I don't know if the steel in Somerset. How do you do it? How do you do it?
You know what? Old man strength. No, you know what? Look, I'm having the biggest thing that people always say to me is, you're so talented, and I think what I would counter that with is, there's a certain level of talent you have to be, successful in this sport for anybody, but it's hard work, guys, right? I mean, there's no secrets. For me this year, the mind game. Good job, Dennis! Woo! Good job.
We just saw the second place runner come through.
I haven't run this race. It's not because I haven't shown up, it's because I've been injured, because I have this kind of mentality, right, that I want to push my body every day. And the race is supposed to be a byproduct of that hard work, right? Generally you can't do anything heroic on the day, right? You're not going to train to run 110 and then all of a sudden come run 106. It just doesn't happen, right? Especially in this sport. Basketball players can get hot and, go from dropping, 25 a game to, hitting 50, 60. We see it all the time in the NBA, but it's not like that in this sport, So, so just having fun. You know what? Like, I'm 42. Good job, Sean! Way to go, Shawnee. Great job, buddy. It's just, who knows how many more of these I'm going to get, right? So I wanted to enjoy it and just, it's fun. My kids were, one of my daughter's away, so I missed her. She's at a swim meet away. My son was on a boat, honking, and it's great. It's such a great family day, and the island's just amazing to come out. So, and great to have competition like these guys. So,
okay. And with the time, an hour 10 minutes. Are you satisfied with that?
I mean, my best on the course is only about a minute and 30 seconds faster, and that was 14 years ago, I'm embarrassed to say. So I was a young man. I was in my 20s back then. So, to be 42 and still be able to do this, right? I mean, come on, it's great. I'm so blessed. I'm so grateful. And this year my body held together. Who knows next year? So you got to just take advantage when you feel good. And that's what today was. And the crowds were, it's like you get the goosebumps. I remember the first time I did this race back in 2008. I've never had that before. You go through the wall of people at Crow Lane, or coming across Barnes Corner, and the Gombays are there, and you're just like, your hair on the back of your neck stands up. So it's just awesome. So appreciate you guys.
Well, I know you're tired. I'm gonna let you catch yourself.
You guys are awesome.
Congratulations. Enjoy the rest of your holiday.
You guys will. Everybody be safe. Enjoy the weekend, and happy Bermuda Day to everybody.
And we're gonna go back.
Well, thank you, Drewski, for that interview of our winner. And hopefully you can grab second and third place, have a talk with them, and we'll get back done. But great shots of the race course and everyone enjoying themselves coming onto the finish line of Bernards Park there and Dutton Avenue. Wow. Great day, great race. Kevin, overview. What anything to say?
I mean, it's obviously for myself, looking at it for the first time from this perspective, a lot of thoughts, standing up on the mic, listening to the comments of Chris, looking at the time period, how fast time has passed. I mean, Chris just said 14 years passed since his first race. Wow. I mean, I remember years ago, Dr. David Searle made a comment about to athletes about these are fleeting moments. Right. Didn't understand at the time, but hindsight, when you look back, it's something you reflect on, and to know that, as Chris said, still being able to participate at 42, running 110, that's solid.
That's excellent.
It's solid. So
I think at 110, I might be by a whole big level.
Yeah. Sure. A good brisk walk.
Yeah, it would be.
So definitely today, to watch it from this perspective, to be able to see, obviously Chris, as he said, going out to just test the body, see what he could do. Within that context of seriousness, there's a big level just having fun and enjoying it.
And he did that. I believe, like we said, when you said he was in his zone on Harbour Road, he relaxed a little bit more, and he knew he had it in the bag, and he was able to maintain a comfortable pace for himself.
He didn't have to hurt himself, it was always better, but you didn't have to race to get the victory.
This is it. And as we see people coming across the line right now, great finishes for everyone, and being there. Larry, are you still with us? All right.
So and Beleze was actually second. Yeah, he was second at 1:13.29. Sean Trott came in third at 1:14.12, and then Sammy DeGraff came in fourth at 1:15.39. Is that Jay Smith?
Jay Smith?
Yeah, it was 1:15.44. So that rounded up our top five.
So still, we have our first female still out on the road. Our young collegiate athlete. So What do you want to say? 125, she should be coming through?
I would say she'd probably be more, based on where she was at, if she maintained her pace, would definitely be around 124.
Yeah.
But based on how Chris' pace went, as far as his slowing, he may be around 129, 130. Because obviously we don't have a clue where she's at.
Right now, yeah. Hopefully we've got Trevor going back into the field to find out where she's at so we can have great coverage of the first woman. And speaking of.
Where are we?
And I see her right behind this particular runner. Coming past People's Pharmacy on Victoria Street. As we can see her ponytail swinging in the background there. Here we go.
Oh, absolutely brilliant. She's kept this whole race going, hasn't she?
So just going across the junction of St. Paul's Church, police station there on the her left-hand side.
Her arms are still high, Kevin. She's a little bit more labored than when we saw her coming out of Spring Valley.
Your shoulders tend to go up.
Yeah.
As you tense, your shoulders tend to rise up. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it pulls everything up.
Yeah. But she still, look at her. She's looking really strong.
It could be expected after running 12.5 miles.
Yeah.
But she looks very fluent. She looks very in control.
And again, no one in any sight of her at this particular moment.
And we're talking males as well.
Yeah.
This is it. So that's been a question to be asked. How does a guy feel to know? Because you know how that manly thing. No girl can beat me.
Yeah.
But here you are. She's won. And you come in 15th, 14th, 20th.
I'm going to leave that ego thing out of it.
That's what it is, isn't it?
Because the time is the time, and women are running some awesome times.
Awesome times, aren't they? It's getting better.
And I was watching a track meet last night, and these girls would have dusted me off in my heyday.
You see that? And I spoke with Debbie Butterfield earlier in the week, and she said that when she first came to Bermuda, and she'll be out running, and people be saying, you shouldn't be running, women shouldn't be running, because women weren't allowed to run back then. And she said how happy she is that women have been able to break through the barriers, you know. And, you know, what I like about it is whatever the first man gets, the first woman's going to get the same. So it's equal.
Yes,
and to me, that speaks volumes of where we have come for women in sports. And this young lady is a hallmark today. You know, she's on the way in, and look, she's looking really comfortable. She's supping up the people going, the crowds. Bermuda Day is going to be in full swing when she finishes, and we're looking forward to seeing the rest of the runners coming through.
So, on an average, how many times she's heard the word "you're looking good"?
You're
looking good.
Yeah, you're looking good. That's the Bermudian phrase for anybody. You're looking good.
Come on, keep going.
Keep going. You're almost there. You know. But so we talked earlier, Kevin. You said you get in your zone. You hear the people in some sense. Is there any point where it's totally blocked out? And it's just you and the sound of your feet?
Well, like I say, it depends. Each race was different.
Yeah.
Each race was different. And as I said, I never blocked it out. I just interpreted it different.
Okay.
You know, help you stay focused, draw on the crowd's energy, the louder the crowd, you know, and you just take it and utilize it for internal energy somehow. You know, it's a little mental game you're playing with yourself. You try to leave yourself, you're feeling different pains because it hurts. You know, sometimes you're hurt and you're just talking to yourself. As Darren just acknowledged with this young lady here, you know, trying to keep your shoulders from tensing up. Because it translates on your whole body. Tight shoulders, tight diaphragm, labored breathing, stride shortens, your arms are swinging. So it's really a lot of focus taking place and staying relaxed. You know, I really learned it when I came out of St. George's 2 years ago. You know, I was in that great a shape, but it hurt.
Yeah.
That's so important, like you said, the structure of your body and your spine as you're running. If you tense up, it goes down. The energy. I studied to be a chiropractor, and Dr. Sid Williams, who was one of the world-renowned chiropractors, always said that the energy flows down from the cervical spine. So if you're running, you keep your structure up. You know what I mean? It flows through. Because everything comes out of the nerve ending.
Because you see that with sprinters a lot. Yeah. They have that upright run.
That was a drive in sports.
Yes, because you see how they start low and then they build up. Yeah. So this is even more so effective when you got that long distance to keep that posture right. All right.
Let me look and see your dad. There's your dad. There's your dad.
This gentleman here.
Should be seeing the first female momentarily. He told the lead vehicles. Yeah, he told him one time about the tennis stadium.
Don't know his face. He figure we're at 125. She should get in under 130.
Yeah,
she should be really close.
Yeah, and that's a great run for that. Now, Butch, I know you're looking at now. Do we have a woman's record time at all? He's going through so much information right now.
That's what happens when you're the computer teacher on the team, innit?
Yeah. Is this supposed to make it faster for you? All right, so she's just come off the hill.
Coming up the hill and near heading for the finish line.
Yeah.
It's the best feeling of the whole race.
Whole race.
Another 100 meters and it's all over. Here she is. Great time, 124.
Looks like you called it.
124.30 plus.
And of course, that tape.
124.39.
Congratulations.
Absolutely brilliant.
She looks great.
Yeah, she looks comfortable, isn't it? Yeah. High fives going around. Doesn't look anything as if, I think, coming out of Somerset, Ashley, Chris's wife, had a 121.24 coming out of Somerset in 2014.
I thought Sandra Moore did a 119 or something like that.
The records I'm looking at is probably the new course. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's the other
They went
thing,
from one Somerset to St. George's and whatnot. So that's what I'm looking at.
All right. Well, that was a great run by her and also by Chris as well, two Derby champions.
Yeah.
Excellent footage there. Thank you again for our drone coverage.
Absolutely.
Different perspective when you see it from up this high. Gorgeous. Great people along the route. Bermuda Day at its best. Yeah. So we've had that conversation about being on the 24th or being on the 27th. People don't realize why they changed it for real. It's because too many people weren't making work the next day.
You know that. You know that sick day clause was in full effect.
Was it ever?
I worked for my father at one point in construction. May peace be upon him. And he said, if you can't come Monday, don't come Tuesday.
Take you too. But it was, even for the kids in the parade, it was really a stressful time, I mean, I look forward to it, but, you just go out after the hard run, It's nice to go amongst the community, and receive your accolades, You work hard, you train hard. It's like the payday. It's all part of the result of being in a race.
Yeah, and it's been great coverage again. We got to say, and the people along the route. So now it's about those that are coming in, finish it off, and then we're going to be checking out the parade later on. Physically, we'll be there.
Yeah, that's where it is.
Well, at least physically.
All right, so we're going back down to the finish line with Andrew. So let's throw it to him right now. Drew, come on in.
This is Ian Andrew.
We're here live with our first female. My new friend Izzy, she came in hot just now. Are you satisfied with your time and how was the run?
Yeah, it was my first time doing the course, doing May 24th, so I was just kind of going to have fun, and it was a really fun race. The crowds are awesome, so yeah, I'm happy with it.
How did you find the course? Was it difficult, easy? Was it certain parts that you thought was real tough that you didn't think you'd be able to get through it and you just grinded through? And
I drove the course for the first time on 2 days ago, so I never run any of it. I don't know. I feel like the flats after the big hills kind of got me a little bit. I kind of just told myself to get up the hills and then like figure it out from there. So honestly, the crowds kind of distracted you from it, which kind of helped a lot. No, yeah, it was a pretty good course. I liked it. I like hills, so it was fun.
And I'm guessing the crowd along the way, they gave you that extra push, that extra energy to make it through and maybe even run a little faster.
Yeah, I was kind of looking for people I knew like in the crowd, which kind of was a fun little activity. Distracted you from like the race, but no, yeah, the crowds were awesome. It was good.
All right, I know you're tired, so I'm gonna let you go and catch us up and enjoy the rest of your holiday. And congratulations.
Thank you very much, Drew. Well, she
Absolutely
confirmed
brilliant.
everything you said.
12th overall. Absolutely
Great run.
brilliant.
Yep.
Great run.
So there's a lot of egos that are concerned about where they're going to finish.
Yeah.
Just outside the top 10, but she'll be happy with that.
Oh, of course. I mean, coming in first, whether it was in the top 10 or not, that's the first female.
She was in the fourth at all.
Yeah.
Never ran it at all. Drove it a couple of days ago for the first time.
In the Twizzy.
Is it in the Twizzy?
In the Twizzy. But I mean, so the principle is true. If you don't know sometimes, it's better.
Yeah.
If you don't know,
you don't know. You know,
it's blind.
The other day I was riding a mountain bike and I didn't know it was the 5 steps. So when I had to jump.
Yeah,
I would have never done it. I didn't know. I just didn't know. I was airborne and that was it.
All right. Now that's an excellent shot over on East Broadway there.
What a shot.
Roundabout. All right, so we're going to a VT right now with Miss Debbie Butterfield. So let's go to that.
That's a beautiful shot.
Certainly is. Hey, nowhere like Bermuda.
I wonder if it looks this beautiful while you're running at this point.
I think it's blurry.
Yeah, everything's blurry. Yeah.
These get blurry.
Heel work and then speed work.
What is the most difficult part of this Bermuda Day Marathon, the actual race? What is the most difficult part?
Well, the most difficult part, naturally, is the heat. And you never knew, because it would be chilly or cool or beautiful up until that day, and then it would either be humid or hot, or you just weren't sure, but you had to prepare for that. But you just had to, because you just weren't sure, or I wasn't sure how I was going to feel on that day. My best advice for anyone starting is to enjoy what they're doing, to not overtrain, and to take it easy from the start rather than going out hard and finishing well.
All right, so Butchie, you talked with Ms. Debbie.
Yeah.
I know she had much more to say, because we've seen her, and the family itself. We're talking about Jim Butterfield, Tyler, I'm not sure if Spencer is running as much.
Spencer does a little something too.
He's done a bit of triath, I think. It looked
mountain biking.
And so fun. You know what? I took away from my interview with Debbie was that she wasn't a collegiate runner. She didn't go through the college. She said that her and her friends, they were in a girls' school, and they saw this race, and someone had been dressed up, and they said, "Let's do that," and they did it. And she said when she came to Bermuda, they started the Mid-Atlantic Running Club, her and her husband, Jim Butterfield, and she said early on, people used to shout out to her and say, "Why are you running? You shouldn't be running. Women aren't allowed to run," and whatnot. And she is so happy for how far women have come in sport. She told me that she just loved running this race. She said that there was something about it. She told me about how she prepared, and they had a rugby diet. They had diet from a rugby national team. I think it was the Irish team. I'm not sure. And that's what, low carbs, lots of meats and whatnot, and proteins, I should say. And that family just epitomized an athletic family, from the parents to the children and beyond. And now she's enjoying grandmotherhood, bringing the grandchildren through, and she's loving it. Such a lovely personality, so welcoming. Always. When I got hold of her, she said, "Come to my home." When people open their homes up to you, that's genuine.
Yeah.
You know, she said, "Bob, you put on a few, Darren." I said, "I've not been running like you, Debbie. Thanks for the diet tip."
So as we see more people coming across the line, finishing up, great times, and when you see these guys click the watch off, they're checking their personal best. They're gonna check from they did last time, and more women coming through. This is excellent coverage, and look at this, sprint to the finish.
That's it.
Race
Look at that. Put it in all the way.
Yep. That was like I want to beat you,
Glenn Wilkes. Probably trained about a month.
Look at the camaraderie amongst the participants. Look at that. That's the camaraderie. That's what this is about. Enjoying our culture, enjoying this. When I was younger, we used to watch a kung fu movie at the old Rosebank. Everybody used to come out and start doing kung fu and karate.
Yeah,
Does this make you want to go for a run tomorrow?
No.
I'm going to take the steps down. I'm not going to take the elevator.
We had our turn running when we used to run after the cricket ball. Which,
that's it.
Yeah.
That's over now. Yeah.
All right, so we're going to hear, as we see, from our sponsors, Butterfield Vallis, Powerade, and of course, Argus. Let us not forget our main sponsor for this. Thank you very much, Argus. Truly appreciate everything you've done and the great coverage that we're getting here for this Bermuda Day half marathon. So I'm just picturing Kevin finishing last time, gets to the finish line.
Yeah.
By time number 15, 20 got in, Kevin was back home chilling with his feet up.
Going for a ride on his bike.
I wasn't biking back then.
You wasn't, but you probably still do it.
Be jogging. Depending on where I was living.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, this is a little personal. I was staying on Kroll, so I left the finish line and I was jogging home, and Boley Hensley, he watched the race from down his stomping ground, Shelley Bay. And as I was passing there, he called me over. And, Boley Hensley wasn't a big social guy, but it was a moment I really appreciate. He actually gave me my accolades.
Wow, that's great.
Kevin, gotta say, boy, I don't think I would have messed with you back in your day.
Wow.
Coming from Boley Hensley, he said, "You're the guy." So
and anybody tell you was going the wrong way?
So I was joking.
That's brilliant.
That was an awesome moment. Heard that from Boley Hensley.
And the top icons in the marathon derby.
He said, "Kevin, mate, you're the guy."
Okay. Well, it's true. Your 9 championships prove that. So any plans next couple of years probably come in, try to be the senior champion?
Women in the running. Sitting there, and over the past, I marshaled. I wish I was out there. You wish you were out there. But today, I'm quite content to be sitting here.
And them asking you that they wish you out there, you know why? Because to be the best, they got to beat the best.
And this is it.
And this is it.
May obviously May is a busy month in the public for me. Everybody, come on, man, you can do it. I said, yeah, but I'm not.
Well, yeah, you know yourself. You definitely know what you're capable
and
of.
It's not about the distance. It's just that you want to run it, you want to run well, and you want to run good. But it's just too much training. Running takes a lot of work.
Kevin, can I ask you a question? At the end of a grueling run like this, what is the best thing to do? Sit down, stand up? I always wondered what was best.
Well, I'm going to tell you what. I answer this way. In some international races, they don't allow you to sit down.
Oh, yeah?
And they will have marshals that will make sure you move. The last thing you want to do is just stop.
You may cramp up. Is that the problem?
Well, your heart is elevated. And when you're running, it's not just your heart moving the blood through the body.
Right.
So when you stop, you're actually telling your heart, now you take over the work.
Wow.
Very dangerous. So the best thing you want to do is force yourself to keep moving. In the long run, it's better. Yeah. Initially, you want to just drop down.
Yeah, I can remember looking at them, people pulling the person up off the ground and stand up and walk. Yeah.
Literally, I've been in races that they don't allow anyone. It's easier for the medic team.
Yeah.
So instead of having people sitting down, they go to get up and then they're all messed up.
Yeah.
When you come through, somebody grips you.
Yeah.
If you don't want to move, they'll walk you around the field. Literally.
Okay, let me ask you, what's a stitch? What is it and what causes it?
Let's just call it an air bubble caught in the wrong place.
Oh, does that have to do with your breathing or your...
So what we get, see, you heard, we talked about earlier about Chinese called it chi breathing.
The chi.
So when a baby's born, you see the bellies rising when they're breathing. As we get older, we move away from that, there'll be diaphragm breathing.
Diaphragm, yes.
So you're hopping and puffing, which is the worst. So when you start shallow breathing, whatever oxygen goes in, you're not expelling it out. So then you know it gets locked up in there, and you got this wicked pain in you.
So how do you get rid of it?
Well, they say roll a fist up.
Yeah.
As you're breathing out, pressing in. Just try to move it, you know.
Try to get it out. I always thought it was my stomach muscles. Well, you can't really see them.
Oh, that's muscles. Stomach muscles.
Well, I got stomach muscles underneath this black.
Still there.
That's why I always thought it was that, but I'm glad you told me this is actually some muscle. Yeah.
Yes. Breathing is the key thing, and most people tend not to breathe, right?
Yeah.
You know? That's why you see hopping and popping.
So is it better if you're running, breathing through your nose, out through your mouth, or because you see some people it's all mouth action?
Well, I found though personally is that when you breathe in, it's not effectual until it goes down into your belly. So how it gets there, relax your face, relax your mouth, all your muscles, and just as you pull in through your abdomen, it comes in.
So we've got a great sort of people coming through right now, more ladies coming through, and a great number. So
it's great. I remember her coming up right here.
70, yeah. Sorry. She said, I'm sorry. It's nothing to be sorry about.
135. That's an excellent time.
It is, isn't it?
See, these people here running 135, you know, these were the committed people that trained at the time. Because remember, a large number of these runners are out there just to compete.
Yeah.
They had a bet with their friend. I could beat you, you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do it. So, these 135s, under 145, you know, you got to put time into run that type of time.
I just wanted to reiterate our first lady through was Izzy Detroit, and Gail Lindsay was second in a time of 127.15. Izzy, the champion, was 124.38. And then Ashley Cooper, who came in at 128.11. The top three for the man, as we know, Chris, he was first in a time of 110.14. Dennis Zimbelenzi, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, in 113.29. And then Sean Trott in 114.12.
So they had mentioned that Dennis actually is not
a half
official or eligible for prizes. So I don't know if that will move him out of second and put Sean up.
Yeah.
Well, for eligibility purposes, I would say yes, that he'll be moved aside for that.
Yes.
But as far as the official race, he came second.
Recognition.
Yeah.
Yes,
he did. But he's not eligible for any prizes based on him not being living here in Bermuda for a period of time. So, now, in the past when he's run, he was actually resident here.
He was.
So he was eligible at that time. Yeah. But because he's now living in Canada and he basically just flew down for the race because he loves it here, he's just here for the showing. Yeah.
Kevin, what's your thoughts about it? If you don't want to answer this on personal thoughts about open this up to elite runners. I know we have the marathon weekend in January.
Well, if you look at the New York City Marathon, they honor their New York itself. There's runners, they have a separate category pretty much. So I'm not against it in any way, you know, but still acknowledge the locals. Because we don't have, you know, the accessibility to the constant competition, these runners at a higher level. So, and because Bermuda Day, people are sensitive to that based on the name, Bermuda Day. So also, we know there's so many young runners waiting for that day to cross that line first. You know, I followed in the footsteps, and it kind of has, you know, it's kind of a blow. You know, international runners flows in and moves your side. So, long as they, you know, acknowledge that local runner, because that's our history. This race has a history. We talked about it the whole morning. You know how if you win this race locally,
Yeah.
You're the guy.
You're the guy.
Yeah.
You could talk about every race. People say, I don't know.
Yeah.
The guy that won May 24th.
Yeah. So I spoke with Jay Donovan, and I said to him, I used to call him Jay. When I saw you, I used to think bridesmaid. And
man.
when he finally won, I made sure when I first saw him, I said, hey, little champ, how you doing, champ?
Mate?
And he talked about how much of a weight that was lifted off his shoulder.
Yes, and man, never forget, that day, because I made sure I was at the finish line that day.
That's your
and he
mate.
came to that finish line. I was the first person to embrace it.
Kevin,
got some good pictures. The wife was there. We got some good pictures embracing. Shadow church together because I felt his blood. How people were hard on him. Second beats everybody else.
Everybody else, yeah.
And as I've said, we talked about it. Same competition took place between two international runners, Haile Gebrselassie and Paul Target.
Yeah. I said to him, I don't know if I was living in Brazil or China, but when Jay was running towards the finish line, I was broken. I was bawling.
Yeah, man.
I cried when Snoopy left Charlie Brown, so I cried anything. But when Jay was running into that finish line,
wasn't it the best feeling
broken.
ever?
And when you embraced Jay, I was uncontrollable.
So you saw it?
I said to Jay, when did you start crying? Because I was crying when you was running in. And he said, when I got there and I realized, so Kevin, and that was it.
Yeah, you guys make me cry again.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful moment. I mean, it's one thing you celebrate your victory.
Yeah.
But, that's just selfish thing. That's just you. You really can't celebrate.
Okay, great. I'm glad you called me.
Maybe they call it something else, but to be able to celebrate other people for me, I remember the year when old Cormac won.
Yes.
I jumped off the truck, we embraced it.
Yeah.
For me, that's the excitement, to feel to see what I experienced in another runner. It's just a better feeling, it's just a better feeling.
So, I heard Larry in my ear just now. Larry, are you back?
I'm here. I hear
Hey.
you. Can you hear me clear?
Oh,
yes,
clearly.
you can.
Okay, great. Yeah, I was trying to come in. I realized that you didn't hear me at all. All that excitement went through the finish line to all the athletes. I felt like I had lost my toy.
You was good for some spirit, Larry.
Oh, thank you, Butch. Running and track and field, man. I'm so enthusiastic, about this sport.
Love it. Yes.
But I heard all that you said. I heard what you was talking about. Just want to go back to the female winner, Izzy Detroit. She's a college student, and as far as her, this definitely is out of her comfort zone, running 13s. Her coach shared with me, she's run 5Ks. I know her 5K times have been like in the 17-minute and change area. So this is a maiden victory. She kind of reminded me of Ashley Berry when Ashley came and ran for the first and only time and ran second to Ashley that year, but Ashley's time was 1:23. But so Ashley was in great shape, and so of course her third place finish today shows that she's not in the same shape as she has been in the past. But she's a parent, and so life changes. But still, she's on the podium, and of course Gail Lindsay, as we saw, who has been the series winner for this for the Swan Series, also showing great shape and improving her personal best. So it's a lot of personal best, but I tell you, the surprise is definitely this young collegiate Izzy Detroit.
Detroit, yes.
For me, as Kevin, as you gentlemen said, running in an unknown, just going blind. Kevin, you alluded to on your mountain bike, and had you known it was 5 steps, you would have never made the jump. So this is Izzy's the same for her. She's in uncharted territories. My hats go off to Dennis. Was it Malenzi? Is his surname? Malenzi. I mean, I didn't think he was in 113 shape, but you see, that's why he wanted to test himself. But the surprising thing is that even though he tried to go out with Chris in the beginning, it didn't seem to destroy his race. So he was so that marathon training showed he still had a lot of stamina in him. Because normally, if your race is destroyed after the first 2 miles, it wrecks everything. Another person who finished in the top 5, Butch, that you mentioned, was Chase Smith. Chase showed great promise many years ago, and then when the pressure was on him to perhaps be a challenger for the title, that pressure got to him, and then he in fact had the adverse fact of performance. But today he was under no pressure. I think you said he ran 115 and change. He finished in the top 5. Chase Smith.
Yes.
Sean Trott finished in 114 and change.
12.
And I think that may be a personal best for Sean by a couple of seconds, because in 2019 Sean was second in 114.58. So that may actually be a personal best for Sean. And Semi DeGraff ran a 115 and change.
Yeah.
That's a
Can I
personal
ask you a
best for
question?
Semi. Yes, you can.
Chris won at the age of 42. Dennis
Yes.
was second in 40. Sean Trott
Yes.
is 32.
Yes.
Gail Lindsay is 33.
Yes.
Ashley Cooper is 44.
Yes.
Izzy is 21.
Yes.
What does that have to say about longevity or the ages of runners?
Lifestyle, Butch. It's all about lifestyle. I interviewed Jennifer, formerly Jennifer Bean, recently, and she was still running great times after 40. So, and we know on the world sprinting scene, Marlene Otti of Jamaica, the sprinter, was still winning races in the elite level in the 100 meters. Kim Collins from St. Kitts and Nevis, still running sub-10s at the age of 40 in the world elite sprinting world. So age is only a number, but lifestyle is critical. Your lifestyle, are you getting your rest? Are you eating proper? Are you training proper? Are you stretching? And now it's so much horse training now, unlike perhaps yesteryear when most runners just did one sport and one sport only. Now you got all this cross training. You got the cycling to save the knees. You got the swimming in the off months, which still develops the chest cavity, the breathing. Swimmers are awesome, fit athletes. Swimmers and their chest cavity, absolutely. So, it's just age is only a number. It's one's lifestyle, and if you can, not abuse your body, you can preserve. You can preserve your longevity and performances. Chris 42 still running a 110 and change. Ashley still running 128 and change at 44. Age is only a number, gentlemen.
Speaking of numbers, our junior runners, the first junior was Isaiah Tucker, who came in at 137.41, and Callan Richardson, who came in at 145.39. And that was the 16 to 19 age group. Isaiah was 49th overall, and Callan was 104. Isaiah's 19, and Callan is 16. So speaking of ages, that's what's happened with our junior males. Still waiting to find some results on junior females.
Yeah, it's a lot of promise in the junior areas, and you see now a lot of parents have their young teenagers involved in different sports, and hey, look at Flora Duffy, hey, look where she climbed right to the mountaintop, and still at the mountaintop, So it's early participation, it's consistency. Kevin 9 times. That's consistency. I mean, and because, after you win it for the first time, there's huge expectations from yourself, but also from the public. And like Kevin said, in May, what he gets told in the month of May, are you running? Let's come out. So even though he's, not running today, he's still under pressure come the month of May. But had he not won it, he wouldn't be under any pressure.
All right, so one quick second there. We're going to go to a sponsor break right now. We'll be back in a second, Larry. So
the Bermuda Half Marathon Derby is brought to you by the following sponsors.
All right, and we're back. As we see, we have the empty seat here to the right. We've been enjoying some great Icelandic water, so we all know what goes in must come out. So you got to do that. But he'll be back. There you go, Larry. There you go.
I have not Icelandic. I have Highland, so it's close.
Oh no,
it's close.
No, it's not. It's Iceland. Not a problem. So as we see more runners come across, these are people that are setting their own personal bests. Larry, your thoughts on these backside runners? These guys that are coming in like closer to 2 hours. What do you think about their form and their thing?
Well, for them, again, the purpose, the goal was to finish. And like Kevin had mentioned, if they can maybe get a little personal best, maybe a minute off their last, I wouldn't say last year's time, but the last time they ran, that's an achievement. They too probably have, a journal of their past training sessions, their past races, because a lot of them actually run during the race calendar, because there's a lot of shorter races, that the sporting body sponsors throughout the year. So they will have, a lot of them, even though they may not be winners, but they participate in a lot of other races. So they have what you call race day pedigree, which means that the more you do it, the more natural it becomes. They're not nervous at the starting line, but they know what their abilities are in terms of what kind of pace they need to go out at, and not to go, like what Chris Eswanek said, stay within yourself. Run within your own abilities, not worry about the next person. So yeah, they're just here to finish, enjoy. They can, they'll collect their medals or whatever they get presented with once they go to the finishing chute. And they look at their results in the paper or online later today with Bermuda timing, and say, hey, I did better. And so if they did a personal best, obviously that's going to motivate them for the next time around. And then of course all their friends are also, congratulating them with finishing and achieving, what they set out to be, because training for this race, Magic, it's not easy. You have to put some work in, unless you are a gifted person, you can just get up off the couch. But assuming you're not, you have to put some work in, a couple of months of steady training. You see Argus has the program that allows persons, to get themselves fit for this race, with also strength training involved, which is important, stretching, hydration, proper eating, and all that,
Okay, well, thank you for that insight, because knowing what you've done, and the gentleman to my left, Mr. Smith himself, who's done this, everyone's got their own training regimen, and it's what you put into it is what you're going to get out of it. So now with Kevin transitioning to the 2 wheels, we're hoping that he'll probably will ride on next year.
Well, I've had my little moments in riding so far. Like I said, this year I probably would have done them. But I tell you, my biggest problem is that I've lost that competitive edge.
Yeah. Larry, you got to fly back.
Even the mountain bike series, the road race, I have fun training. I don't train, I tell people.
Yeah.
I exercise, and I exercise at a high level.
Yeah.
And as Larry said, what you do affects your age.
Yeah.
So the age is a number, time depicts your age. So exercise will affect your conditions at that age.
Yeah.
And it can medically proven, the more exercise you do, the drop off as you get older, deteriorates.
Yeah.
So, cyclists got a lot of, negatives to it for me. Like, when you fall down when you're running, it's not so bad.
Yeah.
You
pulled on at 30 miles per hour,
That's a little bit more to that. And I don't know if St. John's Adams can get there fast enough.
So if some reason they competitive edge, I could ride with those guys, We have different rides they do every Saturday morning. There's a wide open ride. So, and I do pretty well, I can hang and I can stay with the best of them. So that's local best of them. So
I'd rather have you here with us, Kevin.
This is Charlene Sousa.
Yeah.
5'6" Charlene.
Yeah.
Charlene was I think she's a fitness instructor. She used to be extremely competitive years ago.
Yeah.
But she's still at it. She hasn't quit.
Forever.
Yeah.
That's
right. She's been a staple in the
big time,
the marathon. Yeah. And
absolutely.
I always see her come through.
And other races as well. As I said, a lot of these runners run in the other races leading up to May 24th. So for them, this is not their only race for the year. For many, this is, but not for everyone. This Derek Thomas, He used to always finish a lot higher up, but training.
A few.
Yeah, he has. His times were a lot faster than what they are today. But however, sometimes could be injured, could be traveling, a lot of reasons. It's just good to see these athletes coming through. A lot of them probably saying, "I want to get under 2 hours." Well, hey, they're under 2 hours. See him looking at his watch. He's probably a sub 2 hour runner. Run a 4:4. I like to call persons' names. Dustin Archibald there coming through. Who is this looking at his watch? This is runner what? 2:96. I can't get to these names quick enough before they go off screen.
There's another relay team that's come in. We can't see the number.
Yeah.
So the first relay team, the 2-person relay team was Richard Howell's team, who came in at 1:36.24.
That looks like Gouda. That's right. 6:71 looks like Fred Gouda there. If I'm correct.
I thought Sean Gouda was running.
Yeah, that was Fred.
Fred Gouda.
Yeah, 6:71. So he's a late entry.
Hands up, personal victory
celebration.
Punch this guy.
Oh yeah.
And look, high fives all around. Look, that's what the camaraderie is about, isn't it?
Yeah. First thing out of his mouth, I made it.
Yeah, that's right.
And this is 654. That gentleman is David. Ooh, he's African. Uwazo, if I'm correct. Right. He's African.
So this is one race that still does attract people from overseas just to come and participate. But none of the real elites.
The organized, hold it, Magic. The organizers perhaps have this rule to allow certain people in, but a lot of these participants are guest workers,
right? Who
reside here.
Okay.
And so guest workers in Bermuda come from all over the world.
True.
And so they're here and they're participating. Maybe they got a bet in the office that can to win to finish. If you finish, we bet such and such. So different motivations are always at stake. For various persons. But it's good to see. It's good to see. I mean, if the African names, the trouble is that it's so hard for me to pronounce them correctly.
Yes. People would have difficulty with this.
But this is fantastic stuff.
It is indeed.
Again,
and it's
this gentleman here, this is it's a relay.
2 hour mark.
Yeah, and that was probably his goal. I want to get in sub 2 hours.
Yes.
And so these two runners look like they may have run the distance together. They're certainly long striding in. Yeah, that's probably their goal. We're going to run from the start and finish. Yeah, that's probably the goal right there. 5-8-1. I'll give you his name momentarily. That was Ronald Taylor. I didn't know who the ladies was, but that's Ronald Taylor. Yeah, could have been his first time. As we know, there's always a lot of first timers in this race, so they will have had to glean off of maybe some of their friends who have run it before and give them training advice. Yeah, it's great stuff. Excellent view, excellent drone shot, excellent view of the finish line, and you see all the officials, the timekeepers, Bermuda timing.
And we at Channel 82 surely hope you're enjoying our coverage of the Bermuda Day Marathon. Such stunning shots of our country, such stunning efforts from the participants in this race. And we hope you're home enjoying it on the roadside, on your mobile phones,
Battery
or
level
on your
is
devices.
low.
And
the
enjoying
aircraft will go to the home point in 10 seconds.
So they're still coming through. A bit of a break there for the stewards at the finish line, but they're going to be coming through for some time now, aren't they, Kevin? So what will some of the slowest runners do it in?
Oh, you see the clock.
Yeah.
People coming in from now, 2:04, 2:05.
Yeah.
Actually, in the past, I've seen runners that are coming in, the parade started.
Yeah. Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So I don't know
because it's like
if
a
they have
run-walk
shut-off time.
situation for them.
I thought they had a shut-off time. I'm not sure.
Well, basically they do, but you got to remember,
You can
there's
still
that
finish.
one to finish.
Yeah, you can still finish, but they pack up. The clock's going.
Oh yeah. But they'll still get down there, and their family will be waiting for them.
Yes.
And where's the finish line? Right there. You made it.
This is it.
This is great.
Yeah. And let's just say if you're a 10-minute mile runner, Butch.
Yeah.
10 times 13 is 130 and change. So that's 2 hours and 10 minutes. So if you're a 10-minute mile runner,
that's 10 minutes.
Right?
I'm
You're
a
still on the course.
I'm a 20-minute mile runner.
Okay. I would say you're, in that case, you're Butch, just to say, if you're, that's walking pace, so I'll say you're just a brisk walker.
I'm going to start training tomorrow for next year.
Butch said he walks at 30 minutes.
I'm going to be running and reporting live alone.
Yeah, 20-minute per mile pace is not running. That's walking. Yeah.
That's my problem. I got mixed it up.
Yeah, that's no worries. But again, so persons who train at 10-minute pace, their goal is to finish it in say 2 hours 10 minutes. 9-minute pace is 1:57, and then 8-minute paces, I think it's like 1:44 or thereabouts. So depending on what category of runner you are, and so hurry 10 minutes.
The aircraft will go to the home point in 10 seconds.
Yeah, so I just let the folks home know that what they're viewing on the bigger screen is our drone is returning home. Okay, on top of
the Bermuda Half Marathon Derby is brought to you by the following sponsors.
What's your favorite part of Bermuda Day?
Dancing in the parade.
Oh, so you're a dancer?
Yes. I used to dance with St. George's Original Dancerettes. I was a leader.
Okay, well, you got a stick in your hand. Give me your best little twirl, please. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Professional there. Jeez. I love it. There you go. If there's one thing that you can say to the runners today, to encourage them when they're running by, what would you say?
Looking good. Keep it pushing, run, yeah, mister. Come on, babe.
That's the best one I've heard.
Happy Bermuda Day, guys! Woo!
Happy Bermuda Day.
So, since you've been premier, you've done just about everything except for run this race. Okay. So how about this year? Next year, me versus you. Winner gets whatever. We can talk about that later. Me versus you next year from out of the St. George. They say it's a bit of an easier run. I don't know. Maybe they was lying to me. Just want to see me die doing it. But what do you say?
I can say that there's no way that I will be running. I'll be right here at the end. I'll watch you come in, though. I'll be there with something for you when you come in, but that's it. No.
All right. I'm going to let you go. Enjoy the rest of your Bermuda Day. I know it's a holiday, but, I know you're always working. I'm going to ease you up today.
No problem. I appreciate it. And all the good work that you're doing, all right?
Yes. And we're going back to the studio.
That's my type of premier. He knows he's not running. He says something like my attitude. But I'm going to try to do it in 20-minute splits.
But I heard an emphatic no.
No, it's not happening.
It's not happening. So we want to thank you all for joining us here today. Great coverage. I want to thank you, Butchie Burchell.
It's been a pleasure. I absolutely enjoyed it.
Also, Kevin, thank you very much for being here with your technical side of things and your knowledge on your 9 years of winning. And you are officially retired, right? We just want to make sure.
Oh, yeah, I'm out.
Yeah? I'm out. Yeah. Okay.
Enjoy retirement.
I can stand by the premier and tell you emphatically.
I retire too.
I may be here, but I won't
we
be
can definitely
there.
do this again. So we want to thank Argus for being part of this and sponsoring this, and everyone that's involved. Technical team, our switcher Lamar sitting over here. Hi, Lamar. And of course, back in the main booth studio, our producer Lamont Woods, Crimson Multimedia, director Aisha, and also our camera crew out there, Tevin up at Somerset Bridge. We have Desai and Drewski down at the finish line. We had
Trevor Lindsay
on the bike following the race.
Absolutely stunning.
And our drone coverage as well, all the way around. Thank you to everybody. So from us here, I'm saying this, hopefully we're out. I got to hear it in my ear.
Can I say thank you?
Oh, I was getting to you, Larry.
Thank you, Larry.
Sorry.
Yeah. So we want to say, Larry, any last words?
Yes. Happy, again, delighted to be with you guys and the team. Fans, we love you. Enjoy this Bermuda Day. This is the Olympics in Bermuda. And so it's like no other. Love it. And I'm glad to be a part of it in what small way. Thank you to the team. Thank you to the producers, Trevor, Lamont, and you guys. Love you. And I love you much.
Cheers. Love you back, sir. Yeah, for sure. Cheers to you. No, don't do that. Not that one. Not that one. Can't do that. I told you already. It has to say Icelandic. Good day from us all here at the Channel 82 studios. Enjoy the rest of your Bermuda Day holiday.
I wanted to get that small, but I couldn't.
Answer me this. What types of things do you think Bermudians do on Bermuda Day? 24.
Swimming, drinking, partying. That it? Go parade.
Go parade. That's my favorite thing to do. What would you say to the runners running across you to give them encouragement?
Like a seal.
Like a seal.
Like a seal. Just keep clapping.
The famous ones looking good. That's Bermudian.
That is Bermudian.
That is Bermudian.
Kumari, why you over here? Your bike on this side. Money, your bike can't move. You're that way or something. Right.
I didn't know how we came down or how that is yeah, you're the best, see, the best is my mind question. You're the best one, the question. Bro, yo, be like me, vibration. That's basic. How are you going
If he goes,
Those are the ones he's going to have to go through on a gap.
yes, he's running. Come on, Micah! I see you! Come on, Mike. Oh, yeah, he is perfect, too. He is. Come on, Michael, you're almost done. 2:15. All right. Good man, that's good. Thank you, guys.
What niggas don't take you? Turn it off? No, he still was a couple more. No? I knew you was
Yes, good day. I'm Jay Donovan, the 2017 Bermuda Day Half Marathon Champion.
From your experience,
Mm-hmm.
If you were wishing the runners the best, what would be your best clues or tricks you would give them coming out of summer?
Well, in terms of hydration is the key, for it. You have to go into the race. I mean, you can see even here as we sit here today, it's a bit windy. You got, some direct sunlight, but then the humidity is high, and the humidity is really the factor. It's the hidden factor, and it's something very difficult to prepare for in your preparation, because a lot of times, when you're doing all of your group miles, in January, February, March, and even in April. A lot of it is under, really good conditions. And then all of a sudden, May comes and May 15 comes, and then all of a sudden you start to get the weather like this. And if it was a day like today, this would be very difficult conditions, like that. So yeah, for a novice runner, I would just say, try to, eat well the night before, drink a lot of fluids, try to get to the race, hydrated. And coming out of Somerset, you have a multitude of hills, in almost each mile. It's not for me. It was never really about one particular hill, because it's the combination of the hills. Like people talk about Burnt House Hill. Burnt House Hill for me personally, is very easy. And the reason I say that, because it's a flat hill. It has two flat fronts to it, and for my style of running, it was a very easy hill to run like that. Even the old Inverary Hill as well. It's got shouts to it as well. So for me, it wasn't very difficult. I think from coming into Hamilton and the Queen Street section and up to the Cathedral, that's a difficult portion only because of the combination of hills that you had in the first 11 miles or 12 miles of the race. There is no greater feeling than coming through the Kemp Hill section in 24th of May amongst the leaders or in the lead pack or as the leader like that. It's deafening. It's just an awesome experience. Coming through Kemp Hill is just the crowd just narrows in, so you're coming through almost like a corridor, just wide enough for maybe one or two runners, after the lead truck goes by, and it just bottlenecks. Best feeling in the world, Kemp Hill. I just want to wish all the participants in this 2022 edition of the Marathon Derby all the best. Take as much water and enjoy it, and see you at the finish line.
I was just waiting for you guys. Go. That's good what we got to do. And to end in the marathon, you don't stop. You just don't stop. Coming behind me.
Well done, guys.
Well done.
Well done, guys.
Check the victory. Yes, ma'am. Colombia! Colombia! Let's get it! Hold on! Oh, lead the leg up here. Hold on, man. Hold on. No, lead through the course, man. Hold on, man.
Okay, cool. Do you have any finish line stuff? I got a little from the back just because I didn't like the pack. I was shooting across. No worries. Yeah, you got these still. Yeah, that's it's on the end of the world anyway. There we go, here's a good one. Nice. Oh. Yeah, same. It was a strange thing. We could say, like, this one, but we're on the roof. Oh, I had it. I got it. Yeah, but you won. Congrats. Grand Theft Auto, Aliens, the wheel, Star Seed the wheel. Full disclosure from all governments this year, 2001. Fuck this shit, I'm going home.
What's up, my brother?
Hey, baby, what's up? I'm not gonna make it. I gotta go into the. What's up, girl? How you doing? Well done, Zuri! Finish! Finish!
Sir, can you call the paramedics?
Paramedics coming. Right, that's what I want. That's what he just didn't take you off in.
I'm almost there, you know.
I made it. I made it. Come on, Paul! Just come in. Just right behind you. Now, you're right.
But listen, fellas, I respect you. Always been.
Well done, Eddie.
Always good for work. What this is? That's it, live? Everything over here is seeing live. And the Wi-Fi works. Right there, right? Isn't it? Yeah, thank you for watching. All right, so you got my camera in. You got my cam up, right? Yeah, no, he's using the big mic. That fan setup's done. Yeah, think of. Man, let's stand over there.